I had music playing this whole time, and I did not unmute my desktops. That's on me. I normally play music, so everyone knows. I got to keep you on your toes. It's Friday, so it's a little bit more funky. Saturday is when we do the normal stuff. Also, I feel like, hold on. I think I got to get a lot closer. There we go. Big W for the Lakers. Yes, my Lakers pulled it out. We pulled it out the fire. We got it out the very last minute. But we up 3-0. We up 3-0. Early Saturday morning. Oh, okay. What's up? Hello, everyone. I am here on a Friday. I was going to stream much earlier today, like much, much earlier. But for reasons I could not. And then the Laker game started, so I was like, I'll finish once the game starts. And then the Blazers game started. I'm like, I'll watch Blazers. They're still playing right now, but I don't really care. I've never seen offense so bad at the Rockets. I was actually talking about this. The Rockets don't do sets. The Rockets are like 95% of their offense is one-on-one ball. They barely screen. They either, if you can handle the ball, create your own shot, or they throw it to Sangoon and like, do something. They mostly crash the boards. Sorry, last week's stream when you were talking about Kodachi, which had later, and as we were saying, that was really gone mainstream. You're quite correct. You know what? I started watching Witch Hat actually. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful series. I'm really liking like the amount of, I should say, the types of animes getting made now, because like we're getting such a wide berth of it that, or sorry, a wide like yeah, we're getting a lot of diverse range of it that we get such beauty. That shit's sick. But how are you guys doing? I'm in a good mood. You know, because my team won. Indicated Trace split up the timeline for Min Thompson is a great defender, but he's not ready to lead. None of them are. Rockets are 5 years away from being like a contender. So, but I don't think you guys want to hear me talking hoops all day. I could. Don't get me wrong, but so what are we doing today? I figured today we would do some classic stuff, some reacts, you know, me complaining about shit that ultimately doesn't really matter, but still reacting. Because I've been getting lots of videos from people, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just watch it on stream. I'll save these videos for the stream. Instead of just torturing myself, I'll torture anyone who joins the stream today. Hello. You guys love me complaining? I know. I realize that. According according to my analytics, you guys love when I complain. Your favorite political gamer content creator. Hell yeah. That's right. That is a title. That is a badge that I wear with honor. I'm bringing crimes is no. Crimes is tomorrow. We do crimes tomorrow. You guys get 2 streams back to back. Crimes, thank you. Crimes is available tomorrow. I scheduled today, but I had to reschedule. So I'll have Crimes on tomorrow, and we're going to talk about his video that's going crazy because the typical suspects are doing exactly what they were accused of doing. So today, unfortunately for everyone, it's just me. Unfortunately, you're just stuck with just me today. You don't get mom and dad. You just get, I guess I'm dad in the situation. Also, my Twitter timeline is nothing but people saying the Lakers were going to lose, the Rockets were going to blow them out, and then just them going quiet for an hour. You love it. You love it. Project Hail Mary. Nice. I'm reading that book right now. But I was saying, you guys are really. I don't know if you guys noticed, we hit 8,000 subscribers sometime last week or this week, and I just gotta say, you guys are really starting to come out. Like, holy shit! I do think a lot of this is coming from that like Invincible video I did, but will I do anything to celebrate 10K? Um, probably, probably. I think 10K is a significant amount. I think that's a significant amount. I think yeah, for 10K we should do something. Also, if you see that memberships are available, it's just because YouTube wouldn't stop bothering me to do it, so I just activated it. But you don't have to feel you don't have to like do the memberships. You guys can just be regular people. But yeah, you guys have really been showing up for a lot of my videos. At least the ones that I would expect you guys to show up for, you did. Um, so I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you, Ash, for ignoring what I said and doing it anyways. Well, I've not much 2026 NBA playoffs. I just love your favorite team wins. You know, so damn what happens. Yes, I also love it when my team wins. Everyone's happier when my team wins. You don't want to see me when my team loses. But yes, Ash, you are the first. I think I made the membership like 99 cents, so nothing crazy. Because I'm not here trying to like eat off of people unless I realize that I'm actually producing enough content where people enjoy it enough. Where like, hey, I'll pay for it. That was a little bit too much internal dialogue said externally. My brother in Christ. Um, assuming that I'm a brother, racist. It was $3.99. Oh shit! Wait a minute. 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 Hold on. 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 Memberships. Is it $3.99? Oh, I can't even see. I can't even see. That is one of my lines. My brother in Christ. Oh, do I have catchphrases now? Am I at that point where people can just tell me things I say and I'll just believe it? Yeah, that sounds like me actually. That sounds like some shit I would say actually. Yeah, 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 yeah. That sounds like me. I think I think at this point, besides me calling myself my brother in Christ is my go-to catchphrase, but I say it all the time. Okay, now I feel gaslit. Now I feel a little gaslit. Now I feel you guys are playing too much. Like that's I feel like you're playing too much. I do. Okay. You know what? I have no reason not to believe you guys. So maybe that is my catchphrase. But my brother in Christ. If those guys have not no, you know what the okay. I don't know if you guys believe him when I say this shit, but it is I said on the video. All right, all right, all right, fine, okay, all right. Listen, y'all don't understand this, okay? Having people pay attention to you is a new sensation for me when it's something that I want. Like someone noticing, oh, I'm tall, oh, I'm muscular, oh, I'm so handsome, I'm so intelligent. Those are obvious ones. But if people like pick up on my speech pads and say, bro, you say this shit a lot, that's like a level of attention like, oh, you guys do fuck with me. It's like, oh, you guys do watch me. You guys do like my shit to the point where you know what I say. Because I don't. I don't. I don't remember anything I say in the video. It's more of a stream of consciousness. Hence the stream. But uh I'm gonna trust y'all. I'm gonna trust y'all. I'm gonna trust y'all and say that I say that a lot. But I will say some TTV and gaming lore. There's not much lore on me. There's what? I have a degree in criminal justice. Um, what else? Where else? I think the problem for me is I think of myself as somewhat who of a boring individual. I just hide it well. But like when I think of like stories about me or lore about me, I'm really like, what do I do? What would be interesting about me? Like I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get abs. My abs are starting to show. That's cool, right? That's lore, right? That's why you guys become members to my page, so you can hear my workout progress. My workout progress because I talk shit. I know. But I think I'm a good shit talker because I back my shit up. What was I bookmarking? Oh my god, what was I on? There's a time team travel to Norway. You know what? I am traveling next month for a week. I'm gonna be in Nebraska. I'm going to Nebraska. There's no fanfare. There's no um there's no con I'm going to. There is no event. I'm just visiting a friend in Nebraska. Well, I finally catch a real stream from you. I watch your videos on different topics I raise, so I'm glad to pop in. All right. Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't believe you people. I don't believe you people when you're like, oh, I'm so excited to catch you stream. Why? Who sent you? Why are you here? Huh? What's the name? Who sent you here? Nebraska, did you lose a bet? No, I have. Okay. Okay. I've been telling people this and they think I'm weird. So I need to explain to you guys. I live in Southern California where I get to see. Uh, you just saw me and recommended? Oh, hell yeah. Well, thank you. But hold on. I live in California. I live in SoCal. So I have my entire life I've been an LA native. So I grew up seeing like mountains and all this spectacle, right? So like things don't really phase me. And then when I do travel, I go to other countries. Well, really just in Mexico, but I go to other countries in Mexico. But I've gone to like Europe before too. Not to say I'm some fancy, oh my God, look at me, I'm a rich guy. Clearly I'm not. But of all the places I've been to, I've never really seen like the opposite of where I live. Let me explain. Nebraska's in the Midwest. Nebraska is one of the like flattest places. You live in Indiana, yeah. Okay, so you get this then. It's a flat location. Like you could probably see on a clear day down 30 miles. Like you could catch someone on a hike on or not even a hike. There's no fucking mountains. You could see like you have the goddamn Byakugan. All right. I just want to experience what life is like there. Isn't that why we go on vacations to experience a life that we normally don't? We get to like dip our toes in. It's kind of how like culture vultures were going to black culture for a little bit, then they get what they need and leave. It's like that. I'm gonna go to Nebraska, get what I need, and leave. And what I need is to experience flatness, but only in locations, not in the ladies. Hi, hello. But I want to see that because it's a different lifestyle. It's like, what do you mean you have a tornado warning? What do you mean you have a storm cellar? You have a basement? What's that? And I really want to see what flavor of racism are we dealing out there? Is it like the cartoonish TV racism? Is someone gonna have me, you know, tailed? Are they gonna call me Hoss and tell me you better be always watching you? Or is it like no one's gonna bother me? I need to see these things. You guys get it, right? Like that's a normal reason, right? I put this shit on ultra latency, so I know you guys can hear me, and I know you can respond faster than that. That's a normal thing, right? I've always wanted to see the corn, but exactly. Like old stuff back when black and white was a thing. Yeah, I'm going to Omaha though, so I'm not going to be like in like Nebraska. But I want to see just what it's like because and once I do that, I would have completed my quadrants of visiting America because I've done the South, I've done Florida, I've done Tennessee, I've done South Carolina. I went to New Jersey / New York, so that's the East Coast, right? And I live in the West Coast. Wait, no, I have to go to like Oregon or Seattle to finish it up, like the quad, like the. But technically, Midwest, East, West. I've done West, I've done East, I've done South. I just gotta do middle. That sounds kind of scary. That all that flat and you can see that far. Okay, here's another reason why. You guys know what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right? The artist Hirohiko Araki stated that he went to visit America once, not once, like twice, and during one of his visits, he was in like Kansas, and he felt a fear of like unease because it was flat everywhere, and so you were surrounded on all sides by nothingness with nowhere to hide, and he found that to be so compelling as like a horrific experience that he used that as the setting to the finale for Still Ball Run. So I also want to experience that level of just like, oh my god, there's nowhere safe. Have I visited Texas? I have not. I have not. I always said if I ever made it big in like the like creator online space, I would go to places like I'd go to conventions like Texas, like DreamCon, right? By the way, we got to get me to like 100,000 subs so I can go to DreamCon and people would care. Flat everywhere sounds pretty buoyant, but that's why I want to go because it's something I don't have. I am spoiled. I live in like LA. I grew up a Lakers fan. I'm used to winning championships. I next, been to Hollywood. I see celebrities in fancy cars. It's boring. I need boring to be like, ooh, then I can really appreciate where I'm from. It's like One Punch Man, like he's really attained all he's wanted, and so he's just like, eh. Not to say I've attained all I've wanted or really anything I wanted, but it's just a different experience, and I'm looking forward to that. You're from Seoul. You're from Korea. You're from South Korea. That's that's nutty. I also get blown away when people tell me they watch me like either internationally or like they're from some like that's crazy. That's awesome though. I don't even know like anything about like South Korea. You're in Indonesia. You guys are how? What are you doing here? Some first world American ass privileged ass. You're just like yeah, I'm gonna check in. I really do appreciate this. I hope you guys know I'm saying this shit, but I'm really appreciative. I it still blows my mind that even like on a random Saturday Friday night, like 42 people just stop in. Just like my takes on things. Aw. I think that's most of you guys. Although I have been getting comments lately, which I find hilarious because of people who are like, one comment, I'm not going to say put them on blast because they're not doing anything bad, but they simply just wrote on my video about legendary drops. They just wrote, "This video isn't for me," and I think that's hilarious. Oh, the vid clowning on LD opened my eyes a little. Well, I'm glad it opened it a little bit. That's kind of the main crux of why I do this. And like, yeah, I try to be real with you guys. There are creators I do not like because of how they go about doing things, and he's definitely one of them. But it's not like a personal beef because I don't know them personally. But like, from the output and what they do, it just bothers me. Um, this isn't my first video on legendary drops though. I think this is my third time. Me and Crimes New Roman did a react to his video that was like 2 hours long. Not his video, mind you. The reaction we did to it was 2 hours long. And then I did another video on him. And then this is my third one. Yeah. But I think he's one of the better ones, which makes him one of the worst ones. He's better at hiding his obvious like biases by covering it with like, you know how, like, okay, he legendary drops relies on two things: the natural gamer rage towards any sort of like authority, like a game journalist, and dog whistles. Most of the content I've seen from him, it is a combination of the two. He cannot ever critique the gaming side of things. He will never give you a full breadth of opinions because his opinions always firmly rooted in the gamers are always right. And so even if the argument he's making can be applied to the very audience he's defending and cultivating, he will always project it towards everyone else. Like I highlighted in the last video. He will make assertions that his side, right, does, and then point out how bad that is without ever questioning anything. Like, for example, how he was really quick to shit on like Avowed to like and like Star Trek or Star Wars and like all those types of games, right? Maybe not Star Wars, I can find an example of that, but like Avowed or Starfield or whatever. But then if it's a game he likes, suddenly those criticisms can't apply. Here's an example. Here's an example. It's nothing from him, but it's from someone I will put on blast because I put on blast my community page, which I do from time to time. I don't want to encourage certain types of behaviors, so I will try to discourage it. And these are the kinds of people that he will support, whether directly or indirectly. So it's one of my community posts right here. I don't know why it doesn't let you show like bigger. Like it won't let me. All right, I'm gonna just read it from my phone. But here's just the picture of it. You guys can also go to the community page yourself and see it. But I'll just read it from my phone. Give me a second. No. Go to my page. View channel. Go to posts. Keep it down to what I'm doing on stream. Okay. So this is what they wrote. Whatever you are saying is clearly wrong. This is in relation to my latest video. Whatever you're saying is clearly wrong. It is not Cope. That blog was written by a Korean journalist. My first point was, I thought you guys hated game journalists or journalists in general, but because it's a Korean journalist, it's more valid. Shift Up's Stellar Blade, Neo. He wrote Neo Geos, but it's, you can see it too. He wrote Neo Geos. I think he means Neo Wiz. Liza P have completely been pummeled by game journalists such as IGN. 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. It's been like that for prestigious games journals. Now the player base gave the rating for those specific games what it deserved. Look at IGN's rating for Marathon. Player base rating is completely destroyed when IGN and game journalists gave 9. So right now, you are the one that's coping, bro. Koreans are feeling the way they feel, and you cannot tell them they're coping, bro. Japanese games were in console industries for a while. Sony is Japanese, is clearly a corporation that has power since it's been in the industry so long. Look at Chinese games. Korean games, the underdogs of console gaming industries, have been getting pummeled by in their ratings by such IGN. Not cope, you coping. I sometimes I read these comments and I question my ability to read. And then he doesn't speak for us, by the way. I wouldn't assume that he did. And then I respond with, IGN gave Liza P a fucking 8. So once again, you people are liars. They also gave Stellar Blade a 7 out of 10 and Wukong 8 out of 10. Jesus Christ, you people are so fucking brain dead. And to back that up, here's the scores for Wukong, for Stellar Blade, 7, and for Liza P, another 8. And so then this person came back. And wrote, here. Great job. You are still hard-headed to say what you said in your videos, none of which were correct. Very similar to my comment on IGN's ratings on those games. However, I did thank you for your corrections. What have you done with your wrong information you blatantly spurted? Nothing but expose and lynch other opinions. Such a goon. IGN acted in such a manner calling out AI games using AI tools themselves. Once again, thank you for correcting me and thanks for endorsing my comment. Like, I don't know what's happening here, but that's cope. And again, these people have such a hard on for IGN. They have such a insane brain. This is cope. Like, I have never seen such love. They're coping more than the Rockets fans are right now, okay? Like, this is cope. Like, I can't even understand this. He just has a hate boner for IGN. But like, these are the people who support song like Legendary Drops, right? There is no thought process behind, I just hate IGN and therefore they're bad. And I can just lie. Like, I can just lie. And you can't check me on the lie because then I'm hard-headed. And I admit it. I do not value those people's opinions. These people are good, like, to heads to put on a pike. Like, if you come at me like this, just know I will embarrass you. I have no problems with that. Like I've said in multiple videos, these people have been baby too long. I've even stated in videos where I'm like, I have a whole video talking about IGN's review scoring. It makes no sense to me. Like, that is an idiotic statement to make. Like, you're just lying about something. You need to be a better hater. Be a better hater. Be an educated hater. Don't just spew shit like would make it very obvious that you just have a hatred for IGN. To which I say, and I've always said, if you hate them so much, why do you keep referring to them? Like, they call me the shill. They call me the bootlicker, which is hilarious because I almost make daily, if not monthly, videos attacking the current industry and its bad trends. But they talk about review companies and review scores more than I do. Like, more than I do. Like, I've never understood that. They will tell me how bad Kotaku is, how bad Polygon is, how bad IGN is. And then they will consistently use Kotaku, Polygon, IGN. But only if it's a review they can use to drum up more support in their culture war. Unless it's this guy who just lies. But yeah, going back to Legendary Drops, he's incapable of doing something like this. He's incapable of doing that. He's incapable of looking at the bigger picture and being like, you know what? There are a lot of bad actors in the gaming space that should be addressed because they get in the way of healthy discourse and just overall enjoyment from the fandom sense. No, he's always, the customer's always right. That's the best way I can describe his mentality. It's the customer's always right. So no matter what, he will never raise a finger towards them. Even in the video I showed you where like people were talking about Pragmata, right? Not him, but Endymion. And like people like that will pretend to not understand what's actually happening because it hurts them. To be like, oh, there's some weirdos online who are trying to say that, you know, because Diana's a little girl, even though she's a robot, people are being pedophilic. It's like, why don't you be more genuine with your framing? Like, why can't you admit that there is a large contingent of pedophiles on this website, on the internet in general, but especially in these spaces that are going to use the little girl robot as a proxy for their pedophilia when you have subreddits being banned for that specific reason? And none of them brought that up. They don't do any research. Like the fact that Legendary Drops went to some random Korean blogger. Like, do you see what I mean? It'd be the equivalent if I was like, hey guys, did you know that wokeness has been ruining games? It says so right here on the Park Place. Like, you're seeking out fringe, unknown sources that cannot be verified on opinion pieces, and then trying to be like, look at this. Like, okay, he said a Korean journalist. Is there only one Korean journalist? Does that Korean journalist have the authority of every Korean citizen? Do they feel that same way? Like, you don't know. Because if I said, look at this, an American journalist said, actually, Crimson Desert is kind of a 7 out of 10 game, would that be like indicative of everyone in America? It's like, no. But that's what they do. They will attribute one person to an entire system, but that's what they're doing. IGN, their most popular website to use, has a bunch of reporters. A lot of them have different interests, different taste. But they'll be like, well, IGN didn't give them that reward. The reviewer did. The reviewer reviewed it and gave him that score. You can not like a reviewer, that's fine. But then they never do the opposite. They'll go like, oh, well, this Korean guy said this, and therefore he must be true because he's from Korea. And as we all know, people who are from a location never have differing opinions about anything. 50 million people, by the way. Gamers like me are often included, and we are also rise times. Ellie thinks devs got some sort of agenda against us. Yes. Here's the real, like, let's get real for a second. Gamers, for the most part, don't know much. We make a lot of assumptions, and we've taken things as like acceptable facts with no proof, right? Like, you have a feel, you can be like, you know what, this game feels kind of rushed. You don't know that until they come out and say, yeah, we had like 6 weeks to do it. Okay, cool. But like, we take those wins and then try to be like, well, because we can tell this game was rushed, that means we also know the reason why it was rushed. And that's what they always fuck up. The reasons for things. They can say, yeah, the dialogue feels stilted, or it feels very like out of place. That's normal criticism. But then they always go that extra step, and it's always a misstep. And it's like, oh, well, the reason why the dialogue feels worse is because they hired this DEI agency, and this agency took over the writing. And it's like, you don't even know how consultation works in like a business sense. So why should I believe you? But then you have this conspiracy always fills in where knowledge stops. And that's where you have everyone fucking doing the Sweet Baby Ink thing, which led to Gamergate 2.0, which led to massive harassment campaigns, which led to all of these idiots getting so much more power because these dumb people promoted other dumb people. And now they can just say shit that makes no sense. Legendary Drops talking about this game was made for dudes, and the reason he knows it was made for dudes because it has a bad story, lots of swearing, and it's basically a masculinity contest. And he just knows this. He can just say, okay, the story's bad because it's made for dudes. You don't know anything. You want to know the truth about how SBI hate started? I have a literal video on that. I called it before it happened. And it's because, like I just said, you have people who do not know what particular agencies do, and so they make assumptions. If they think a game is wrong, they will blame someone. They thought that God of War was wrong because it had a black person in it, Angrboda. That was Kabrutus, who admitted he didn't even play God of War 2018. So he didn't even know the story had changed, anything like that. He saw a clip of God of War Ragnarok, saw Angrboda, and was first question was, why is she black? And then was like, oh, because Sweet Baby Inc. is involved. Look at they work with them. Therefore, they must have input on what character designs look like. And I'm like, no, that's not how anything works. You would never wait to make a design on something and then hire the consultant agency. It'd either be happening in parallel or like you present a draft, like, hey, this is how we want to present this character. What do you think? And the consultant agency's job is to put you in contact with either the people which you are trying to emulate, or like if they can do it themselves, like, hey, I have a background in this. This is not how they would act. If you want to have an authentic representation of like a black person from like the 2000s, this is how we act. This is how they talk from this area. This isn't native to this accent over here. This is that. Like, that's a consulting agency, right? But these morons don't know anything. So they said this consultant agency made Angrboda black. Did the CEO say something threatening? No. What the CEO said was basic marketing shit. Basically along the lines of like, and if they turn you down, don't let them turn you down. And these people, again, because they don't know how anything works, they took that to say, oh, she threatens these companies. I'm like, yes, a Canadian company with 16 people has enough power to threaten the likes of Sony Santa Monica. You're right. They can threaten companies from overseas, because they also said Sweet Baby Inc. threatened to blackmail or extort Black Myth Wukong's game signs for like $8 million. Like none of it's real. None of it's real. But that's all they need. They just need a conspiracy, and that's it. And so when Alyssa went into the Discord and did her job as a journalist and explained what a consultant company does, then it became, look, see, games journalists are now in collusion with these companies. Everything just became a conspiracy theory. And now nothing can disprove it. Because if I go back to that comment, which perfectly highlights exactly what I'm talking about, you will see the levels of like that Sweet Baby Inc. conspiracy brain and just see exactly where that leads. So let me go to this video first and go to the comment section, sort by here. But you'll see exactly what I was talking about. Not this one, not this one. Okay, like this for example, right? Someone wrote for Legendary Jobs, they're like, he's not anti-woke, but it's not bullshit to see the hypocrisy and the treatment the media gave Crimson Desert compared to other games like they like more. And I wrote, he absolutely is anti-woke, man. Listen to his actual words. His videos are full of dog whistles, and he went mask off here. This person wrote, you hear what you want to hear, can't argue if your mind's already made up. And it's like, bro, I just did a whole 36-minute video explaining to you his dog whistles, and you're saying my mind's made up. Yeah, it's made up because he does this. But the person, this guy, right? So he did this part, and there's more to what happened, and I stopped responding. I said, he said, thanks for clarifying. People would have gone bonkers if IGN gave those games anything below that number. So remember, this person stated that IGN gave all those games, Liza P, Stellar Blade, Black Myth Wukong, gave them 6s and 7s. And when I corrected him, what you guys saw, his response was, thanks for clarifying. People would have gone bonkers if IGN gave those games anything below that number. So now it becomes, oh, well, IGN only gave them good scores because people would have gone upset. It's a goalpost move. There's no amount of evidence to convince these people that they were just wrong about something. Like even like objective reality. Because then it becomes again, an assumption of the intentions of people. Well, no, IGN only did this because they were afraid of the gamers. IGN gave Concord the same rating as Stellar Blade, you goon. Lots of games get 7 out of 10s. Like, what? That just means Stellar Blade is a 7 out of 10 game. That's literally all that means. Concord disappeared from the face earth within 2 weeks. IGN gave Dragon Age Veilguard a 9 and the Marathon 9. IG, again, let's actually see what IGN gave that one. Because I don't believe this person. Oh, they give it a 9. Interesting. IGN gave Veilguard a 9. Where am I? Oh. And Marathon 9. Those 9s are better games than Wukong and Liza P by IGN standards. But guess what? 9 games have been trashed by the player base. I rest my case. Go suck some Western games that are doing horrible and concurrent players. They need your ass kissing for real. IGN alone is not enough. By the way, IGN gave Pegmata an 8. Losers they are, goons I swear. Like, this means nothing. This means nothing. This is just insanity being spewed. Like, you're so caught up in this dumbass culture war that you think there's a conspiracy. Did the same person who reviewed Stellar Blade also review Dragon Age, also review Marathon, also reviews other games? Or were they different people? And again, okay, Stellar Blade got an 8. This game got a 9. All right. Does that now make that game unplayable? And I said, yeah, okay, dude, you clear up the argument here. Because first, it's IGN gave them reviews. Now it's IGN afraid to get bad reviews. And then, like, you don't understand my argument. IGN is biased to where they will give Eastern games, especially new IPs, that have player ratings of 8.5 or higher, 6 or 7. Like, this is stupid. This is stupid. Like, that's why I didn't respond to it. It's dumb. It's dumb. Oh, the player reviews? So now we have to factor in player reviews? If you care about player reviews, then why are you talking to me about IGN reviews? Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the insanity that has been allowed to fester unchecked. And then you have people like a Legendary Drops who foments this by being completely uncritical of this very thought process. He champions this thought process. He's like, yeah, you know what? There is a conspiracy against these games. And was it like this in the past? Absolutely. If you guys have ever watched an old X-Play episode, the term JRPG was a goddamn slur in the early 2000s. It was. But we aren't in the early 2000s anymore. We are in an era where games from the East actually get a lot better treatment than games from the West by both critics and gamers. Why? Because it's a newer thing happening. People are going to be naturally more lenient. That's why you see these losers glazing anything that comes out from the East. Because it says, oh my God, look at what this company did from China. Look at what Black Myth Wukong was able to do. But if God of War comes out, God of War doesn't get that level of grace. You see what I mean? God of War 2018 comes out and it reinvigorates the franchise. It took a franchise that was, let's be real, very juvenile in terms of its like storytelling and characterizations, and then it made it a more heartfelt story overall, at least in my opinion. And it kind of put it into a different genre, more cinematic approach, which is something bread and butter. But that is different from Stellar Blade coming out and doing a near automata from Temu. And insofar as it goes, is like sexy robots trying to have a deeper theme, and you know, like, oh my God, we're the real humans, yada 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 yada. Then the people are actually whatever. Like, that's something we've seen before. But because it's from a Korean company, we have to pretend we've never seen this before. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we are now pretending that anytime a game comes out that we've seen before, but because it's from a different company, we have to be like, oh, from the East? Wait a minute, this is actually the best thing ever. How is Stellar Blade not Game of the Year? Because you've played a game like this before, and a better one at that. That doesn't mean Stellar Blade is bad, but games are formulaic, exactly. games are formulaic. You've seen this. You have people right now talking about the games in the West, how this is so predictable. It's the same things over and over and over and over and over. Yet when games in the East are also formulaic, like, let's be completely honest. How many fucking RPGs, JRPGs have you played where you end up killing God or a godlike being? How many of them have a cast of characters, one of them including the stoic soldier type, the young, bright-eyed person, and the fucking child? How many JRPG parties have you seen consistent of that? Like, they're also formulaic, but it's how they execute is where we give it its props. Stellar Blade isn't 7 out of 10 game because it doesn't do anything exceedingly well, especially for a genre that's been well worn at this point. It's not like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, Nier Automata, Metal Gear Solid, or Revengeance didn't exist, and then all of a sudden this came out, the first character action game. We've had literally hundreds of them. So yes, you're always going to be competing against that because you're in the genre. Now, I will give grace because if it's like your first time doing a game of that magnitude, sure. But grace doesn't mean immunity from criticism. A 7 out of 10 for your first going is good. It made its money back. It sold like 2 million copies, maybe. Who knows? We don't have exact numbers, but it sold over 1 million copies. That's good. But why? But because IGN, one review website, gave it a 7, now you're pissed off forever. And this guy keeps solely focusing on IGN. Like, it's crazy. Sorry, I went on a tangent, you guys. I think why Stellar Blade is the history of the company. Before this, the game made mobile game. I think in that game, yeah, and that's the thing too is, I think Stellar Blade's a good stepping stone. Like, they could only get better from that, and they acknowledge that. They said, I had the same criticisms that most normal people have about Stellar Blade, where like the story was kind of and then Shift Up was like, you know what, our story was kind of We understand that. We didn't have enough time to put everything in there, and if you play the game, it feels very disjointed. It feels like you're just doing things to kill time, and then like stuff happens, but you never have a full like narrative, like a through line moving you from point A to point B. And the points you go to, for the most part, are boring. You're in a boring ass desert, and then sometimes you go inside of a city, and then you go to a bigger, more boring ass desert, and then you start to go into like the space elevator, and that's pretty cool. And then you come back down to Earth, and you're like you go like 5 locations. Eve is not a fleshed out character. Eve is an avatar, not a character. But with all those criticisms, that means you have areas to grow. And that's something these people don't understand. Good criticism shows you where your weaknesses are so you can grow from that. It is not so you can be shitted on. But we have lost the ability to understand critique in the gaming space. If a game is a 7 out of 10, you have areas to improve. But now people look at, oh, it's mid, it's garbage, they hate it, there's a conspiracy against it. Play the fucking game. Like, I'm sorry if your game requirements is just, is the character hot or not? Like, that's lame, and I do not respect you. 1 through 7 is horrible according to Jifters. 7 is seen as terrible. Good. I know. I'm saying we have completely lost the ability to just be like, this is a good game. I played Stellar Blade. I finished Stellar Blade. I don't regret playing it. But yeah, I played a lot of video games. That's absolutely a 7 out of 10 game. Like, to me, 8s and above, those games stick with you. For me, Stellar Blade doesn't do anything that's like super memorable, at least in a positive way. Because I tell you, that game has some of the most intense design whiplash I have ever seen. Like, you have characters who look like they belong in completely different games, just coexisting. And I'm like, this is throwing me for a loop. You had a Nativa that would look more comfortable in like a Resident Evil style type of game, or like a body horror focused game. And you have your 3 main characters who look like they're from different like genres. Look here. So you have Eve. I'm going to show you guys right now. I'm waiting for it to load up. So you have Eve, right? This is how Eve looks like. I gotta be careful because people were gooning into hardcore to this. You have Eve, looks like this, right? This is Eve. And then you have Adam. Adam looks like he looks like he's in Death Stranding. Like this is the Death Stranding character. And then you have that one little what's that mechanic girl's name? Lily, right? Like Lily, I think that's a made up costume. And you see these characters, and then you see like the Natiba. And it's like, what the fuck? Dead Domain once again. Dead Domain once again raiding me. Ah! I'm getting flashbanged. But you look like even look at the Natiba design, it's like, oh, okay, so they look sort of like they look sort of monstrous, then it's like actually no, they sometimes look like angels. Like, okay. Then you have Elder Natiba, who's like, okay, it's like a sword guy. But then you have again like this Natiba. Like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Like, what exactly is the? Thank you guys for rating and following, by the way. But it's like, what is happening? Like, what is the design? Like, what's going on narratively and visually? Aren't the first Descendant cast disjointed? I know nothing about the cast. Lily looks like a character from Magna Carta because the character designer, the CEO of Shift Up, was the character designer for Magna Carta. Shout outs to Magna Carta, by the way. Also, most of these anti-woke people don't play games. They watch their favorite streamer play, talk about it. Black Hokage mentioned it. Booker Fox. No, he's true. It's true. It's true. They don't play these games. And listen, I would say these are sick monster designs, but I don't think they mesh really well with the world of the Stellar Blade. It's a real like design mismatch. 7 and 8s are the lifeblood of gaming. That's what I always said. I've been saying this. Most of your gaming experience, you've been playing 6 to 8 ranked games because they carry the console. They carry gaming. They are the lifeblood because not every company right off the bat can give you a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10 game. You build up to that. It's very rare that happens, which is why you remember it. Like I'm sure you guys remember the Metal Gears. Oh wow, someone used bits. Just wanted something about Shift Up. The right wing sphere were trying to make a big stew about Nike and Stellar Blade being anti woke when they asked Shift Up lads about the South Korean judge. Were like, what? Wait, really? They're like, wait, huh? Woke? What are you talking about? But you know what? Goblin, you bring up a good point. None of the people that these like anti woke guys were like saying this is our company, whatever. Besides literally the CEO of like Lords of the Fallen and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, they don't give a shit about this because it makes no sense. Like, that's why. Thank you guys for the follow. That's why you see so many people. Hi, everyone. That's why you see so many people on that side just claim games as anti woke, and then that's it. Like, that's it. Like they did right now with Pragmata, right? Where Pragmata has become held as this anti-woke thing, just like Crimson Desert was, just like Stellar Blade was, just like all these random games. They and I am blowing tonight. They claim, and it's like, what makes it anti-woke? What makes it a game for you? You just say that it is, and you think that makes it true, but that's not the case. You can't look Like, if you look at Pragmata, it's like, what about this game? What about this game is, yes, this is going to make the wokies upset. Bitch, this trope has been done to death. This is literally Lone Wolf and Cub. This is father figure takes in surrogate daughter, teaches him how to love again, teaches him how to be human again through her childlike innocence. This is Last of Us. Like, we've played these games before. This is the Walking Dead Telltale games. Like you have seen this dynamic before. But again, these people want to act brand new, as if because this is coming from a non-Western company, it's a new idea. Granted, I think Capcom is hitting their stride. I think Capcom right now is, I'm gonna be big face because I'm dead ass serious. I think Capcom right now is better than Rockstar. Look at Capcom's output in the last 5 years. Like, they are feeding their consumer base. They're giving them new IPs. They're giving you remasters and remakes that people actually like, for the most part. They are producing at a fantastic rate. Rockstar gives you one game every 11 years, maybe. Right? And like, that's not good enough for me. Yeah, Capcom right now, just this year, just this year, and I'm going to go to the forbidden side, which is Kotaku. But look at what Capcom has lined up just this year. Just this year. You have, Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Looking forward to that. Pragmata just came out. Resident Evil Requiem just came out. Right? That's 3 games so far just this year. Just this year. And not to mention Monster Hunter Stories, right? Not to mention more additions of Street Fighter 6. Like they have been putting out shit at an insane clip. And I can't be mad at them. And they're not putting out they're putting out big ass titles. These are big titles. These aren't small little updates. They're anything. Like, I legitimately, even though Capcom does not fuck with Mega Man anymore, I respect them. They're bringing back Mega Man. Yeah, but like, I want like a big Mega Man game. They wanted Mega Man Legends back, and people aren't doing that for some reason. But their output has been insane. And yes, it has been revived because of Resident Evil 7. That shit put them on this next level trajectory. Real talk, I'm one of those hated wokies the right wing internet are terrified of, and I really don't see why they're trying to claim Pragmata thing. It's like Lone Wolf Cup. Exactly. Because these people don't really have the education of someone who claims to be a gamer, because they don't understand anything. Like, they're not well versed in anything. So they pretend to be, and they expose how little they know about shit. I'm gonna be 80 every time they care about Mega. I know. Like, I know they announced some shit for Mega Man, but it's like, you know what we want. You know what we want. You know what we want. But I will give credit to Capcom. Again, they've turned it around. They've turned it around. They've like, you know what if we just start putting out bangers? What if we just start putting out bangers? And like, cook, Capcom. I have Pragmata right now. I haven't played it at all. I'm saving it to play for my second channel, my pure gaming channel. But this is a company that's like, you know what? And the best part is they are appeasing both groups, because they have not replaced any of their older titles, nor have they been forcing you to play the same game over and over and over. Hello, Naughty Dog. Hello, No Druckmann. You wanna You want to stop with Last of Us, please? Listen, you guys, Capcom's never bringing back Dino Crisis. Okay? They're never bringing it back. It's done. You have to let it go. I bet his next big if will be the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 is too woke. I don't think he even fucks with Final Fantasy VII. But everything these people talk about when they say this shit's like woke, what they really truly mean is there is something about this game that I do not like. But if I tell you exactly what it is, you're going to call me a bigot. So I would just dress it up and saying it's woke by saying it's DEI. And you have to read between the lines. These people are cowards, is what my main crux of this is. They are not able to actually state their opinion. So I state it for them. I know what they're doing. They will look at you and go, I don't. Okay, so we're talking about Pragmata. Have you guys heard about the voice actress? They are now the people who are all championing Diana because, oh my gosh, she's so cute. She's going to reverse, what they say, like years of feminist indoctrination and anti-natalist propaganda. Now they're like, wait a minute, a black woman voiced her? Actually, I don't like this character anymore. Like it flips you guys that quickly. It flips that quickly. Like they don't care. And they're using this as a double whammy to talk shit about Pro ZD again. And we all know, because you guys have all watched my videos, and you definitely saw the video in which I said Rev says Death is lying, but you all know that this never happened. Guys, I swear this time is different. Diana voice, black, and the people were talking about how, so it's okay for a Japanese woman to voice a white girl, and they're like, well, they're Japanese, so it's okay. Like, but your issue was a black woman voicing a little white girl? Why? I thought it was merits based. I thought it was merits based, you guys. I thought it was the best person for the job. Because this whole shit with Pro ZD literally never happened. Like it never happened. He never said that you must cast for the race you're playing as a voice actor. He's never once said that. He was talking about live action, specifically after being asked a question like that. Ada was being voiced by a white. Exactly. Imagine being so racist you can't enjoy a game. I don't have to imagine that. I see these people do all the time. Mind you, these people, these are the same people who were like, hold on, let me make sure I can actually show this stuff. You guys know how Twitter is. You know how Twitter is. You know how these people are. But these are the same people who are like, oh my god, I would die for her. I would die for her. And then it became actually she's a dark skinned. She's voiced by one of them darkies. I don't know if I like her anymore. And it's always the same racism, like, oh, it's the Netflix version if she's dark skinned. Yeah. A lot of this though is from Spanish speaking people apparently. And I'm just like, por qué? But mind you, these are the people who were like, I love her. I will die for her. So are they upset because Anna Canaris is a black woman and she's voiced the third pressures? Yes, they would be. They would be. If they cared about Genshin Impact, they absolutely would be. But here, they found out she's black and, oh, look at that. Let's do racism, everyone. Let's do racism. I'm edgy. I'm a big edgy man and I like racism. Look at this Hitler right here. Look at me killing a black person because the black people are violent. This is the second that they find out that she's a black person, that she was voiced by a black person. Yeah. This is the shit that they do. because they can't handle anything. They can't handle anything. Anything. It's too much for them. They loved her, you guys. They were celebrating her. She was their new anti-woke champion. She made people want to have babies. But then they found out that she was voiced by a black woman. And then suddenly all that talk about it's merits based. It's the best person for the job. Who cares their race as long as the best person for the job quickly becomes, wait a minute. Black people can't be the best person for a job. Like, it's so funny. Oh my God, what is this? What is this? What is this? New trend to piss off the antis, I'm not saying that, and the PDF projectionists. Use AI to make a wholesome scene teaching Diana a skill. I'll start. This character is from fucking Dustborn. Right here.
It's the bourbon. Pour it in here.
This is from Dustborn. I'm so serious. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I'm not even kidding. You tell me. Oh my God. No. You tell me this isn't fucking Theo from Dustborn. This is this guy. This is Theo from Dustborn. This is the guy who did from AI. This is Theo from Dustborn. The game that they always hate. Yes, they said let's make an AI of a child learning how to make a drink. But look at the guy they're using. You said it looks more like Borderlands? It's Borderlands shading for sure, but that's this motherfucker. Like, even the hair is the same. The glasses down there are the same. They might have changed the clothes, but this is him. Unless there's a Borderlands character who looks like that, I'm gonna say this is this guy. It looks just like him. This looks exactly like him. Same hair, same glasses, same face. Dusterlands? Borderborn? My brother, are you teaching this child how to make alcohol or something? I know it's supposed to be a joke, but dog, that's a child. And it's AI slop. It's always AI slop. These people don't have any sort of fucking originality. Are you kidding? They will always use AI. They will always use AI. They use AI for their chat GPT comebacks. They'll use AI to talk to people they don't like. They will always use AI because they don't fucking appreciate art or like art. And then they do the typical, by the way, do you have a plan to play Saros? Why must you wound me? I cannot play Saros because fucking Sony decided to not release it on PC, and I do not have a PS5. My entire plan was to get a PS. We'll get it on PC. Now I have to save it for a PS5 to get it. Bullshit. Oh, we're gonna focus on exclusives. Fuck you. Ah. Oh, $5, £5. At this point, woke and DEI basically dog whistles. Pro ZD drama, I literally dealt with a guy still pushing after we saw Pro Z didn't say that. Bro, you know Kirsha's bringing that bullshit up too. Right? I expect some Saros hate soon because he's with Alana. Yeah, but honestly, Alana doesn't care. She's a busy woman. And $200 so far. What? Alana's a busy woman, she doesn't care. And Raul does not give a shit. Raul does not give a shit about that. He doesn't care. But no, like people, like here, you mentioned pushing that bullshit Pro ZD. Fandom Pulse, a bullshit website. reacts to. By the way, you can tell when these sites are just like doing the equivalent of a human centipede and just feeding each other shit, because no legitimate news site is going to cover chibi reviews. Okay? No one's going to cover him legit. No big site's going to cover him. And they're like, chibi reviews reacts to a black woman, which is this is, oh god, this is levels of this is, oh my god, this is like when Dave Chappelle was talking about 9/11 and like MTV going like, we're gonna bring in a Ja Rule. Like, what does Ja Rule think? Chibi reviews reacts to a black woman. Like, this is breaking news. Like, this has never happened in the history of, yeah. Where's Ja? But this has never happened in the history of anything. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Chibi Refuse is reacting to a black woman. Let's see what Chibi has to say. Both voices are great. I don't give a fuck what skin color you have. Just do a good job as voice acting. That's fine with me. Restricting VA work to match skin color of a character is horrible and needs to full stop. It's blatant segregation in the industry. The anime community usually doesn't fit when races don't match voice actors. How come they didn't in this case? And then you see this shit. People pushing this shit, right? Like, he never did that. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. The anime community only talks shit about voice actors in regards to because they aren't the Japanese voice actors, all English dub actors are bad. That's the anime community's bullshit. They haven't really been on some racial shit like this person can't be this person's voice. That I haven't really seen. And you guys know I will dog out the anime community at drop of a hat. Even though I'm in the community. I've really only seen it through the whole East versus West. But for those of you guys know, Fandom Pulse is like, it's like the Park Place. It's like Cosmic Book News. These are all fucking websites that legitimately only grifters use. That's it. Like, here, let's go to Fandom Post real quick. I think it's a Substack too. Not even like yeah, it's a Substack. But like AI generated shit. Gina Crown talks Star Wars, D&D, dumped Daredevil rating slump, Fandom Post daily briefing. Like, it's not shit anyone cares about. Like, John De La Rose is a fucking wife beater, so I don't care about his opinion. But it's just this shit. Like, no one goes here. Bro, I was watching a podcast checking up on Project Jama, and all the hosts went, "Wait, he's not saying that." Yeah, because he didn't say that. Like he didn't say that. But you know what? This is still a better website than this website. That's right. We're back here. Speaking of chibi reviews, from what I remember, his biggest YouTuber friends also on Tabbook are Espiritu, Monte Sensei, Smash, JT, Retro, Absolute Con. Yeah, they're all terrible. Like, I haven't heard of Espiritu or Monte Sensei, but the rest of them are fucking terrible. One of them's being sued, and we will talk about that because it's funny. But what also is funny, you might be asking, TTBN, I have never seen your stream before. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to what you do. And I would say, yes. But also, this is No Clip 360. Please tell me this ain't AI gen image of E33. I cannot tell you that because this entire website is AI generated. Everything on this website's fake. Everything is fake on this website. There are no real newsroom people. There's nothing. There's no real reporters. Nothing here is real. Nothing here is real. This is Grums's new brainchild because he's never going to work on his actual game people have paid him to cover to fucking finish. This is his website. No Clip 360. And if you notice, it's called No Clip 360 because they're trying to bite off No Clip. Like the actual gaming group that does like amazing documentaries and stuff. He's trying to bite off that, but he just added 360. And you know what the tagline is? We may hallucinate, but so does Kotaku. I think all Grumps does now, by the way, is just promote this. I think like that's all he does. I'm blocked by Grumps. Yeah, I know. Like this is his output. This is all Grumps does. And then he'll be like, if you like what I say, please subscribe to my fucking whatever. Like, look at this is so perfect. This is so perfect. He's so into AI because he cannot create for himself. And so he needs something to finish his job for him, which is why he talks about shit he has no logic with. We're reaching levels of complexity in hardware and software that make it increasingly difficult to make the next step. Humans are approaching a limit, and adding more people doesn't work. AI got here just in time. Working with AI will allow a much smaller team to push harder. Complete fabrication. It's made up, not real. That's not what's going to happen. To say human beings are reaching a limit makes no sense. Human beings are even ones creating this technology. What the fuck are you talking about? But he's just, all he's doing is promoting AI. He's basically like the guy who tried to promote NFTs, but way too late. All he's doing, like, look at all this. He's writing like One Piece, AAPRG. What the fuck does that mean? What is an AAPRG? Do you mean an action RPG? Or an augmented action RPG? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Lose the pitch deck, lose the game design wiki that nobody on the team reads. One Piece AAPRG concept made with AI shows the way. This is going to be the best way to pitch games internally at studios and to publish the early stages and coordinate with teams. We used to do PowerPoint slides and static concept images. This is far better. He has not been in the gaming industry as a developer in over 20 years. He has no idea how any of this shit works anymore. This would be like if a World War II pilot was talking about flying planes nowadays and was like, you know, back in our day, it was so much harder. We had to use manual sticks and we didn't have, like, yeah, buddy, we have fucking autopilot. Like, you're talking about a world that doesn't exist anymore. And now you think this new thing's gonna fix things when we already have a good system. This is what he's defending, by the way. I haven't done one of these AI video breakers in a long time. Who the fuck is this? Because that's not Nami. This isn't Luffy. Why? Here's another thing. Why would you want to play a first-person JRPG? Why would you want to play a first-person JRPG? Like what? What does this have to do at One Piece? Potions and this and like. So what? You're playing like with hotkeys? An action RPG like this? Luffy with roid vents. I know this was like a watercolor, right? Nah, I mean, Luffy, listen, I've been studying the map you gave me. I think I found a way to get to the ground line, but we'll need a ship. What do you say? I'll say, fake fan, that Luffy already had a ship before this. He went to Syrup Village. He met Usopp. They beat Captain Kuro. Then they got the ship. They got the Going Merry. And before that, Luffy had a little boat. Luffy had a ship the entire time. Essentially. Why would Nami need... I think I found a way to get to the Grand Line. You know how you get to the fucking Grand Line? You need a log pose. God damn. Yeah, Luffy's face doesn't even match the texture. Like, how would this be a pitch deck? Look at this random generated bullshit. Is this the art direction we're going to go with? Are we trying to go with watercolor realism? Did he just jump through her?
Ah, you're here.
Ship rarer.
I've been expecting you. I need a favor.
He caught... Look, bro. Does he have observation hockey? Does he have observation hockey? Look how far away he was when he spotted Luffy coming. Look at this shit. Look at when he starts talking. Right here. He is way down there.
You're here. I've been expecting you.
You're
I
here.
need a favor.
This motherfucker has advanced observation hockey and can see the future. God damn. Wait, what was that? Oh, who's this? Who's this? What the fuck? Luffy doesn't have tattoos. I'm pretty sure he just did the Vilch for my knife hand. And of course the comments are just, see, this guy wrote action role-playing game. But of course the comments are just like, huh, didn't know what I wanted something so bad, but here we are. The fight sequence is really good. Was this multiple sea dance runs? Looks great. When does this one come out? We are closer to the dream where someone can prompt AI for a game they want to play and have it ring less than the time it takes for AAA. My dream is One Piece game with CAC abilities, sick idea. Like, that's not One Piece. And now all these bots are just like, this looks awesome. This looks great. Yeah, this looks amazing. When I think of One Piece, you know what I think of? No devil fruit powers.
I've been expecting you. I need a favor.
Meet the shipwright. Need a favor. What if I go past you and then just start fucking punching people? You know how Luffy does in One Piece. How he just randomly attacks people. Because he's a pirate, you see. And you can tell he's a pirate because he has tattoos. And that was like boring ass combat. That's so... Also, this is some Ubisoft bullshit, right? Like this stuff right here, the set sails and objectives, and like that's not One Piece. Like what looks more like One Piece? This shit or literally any One Piece game to ever come out. What was the last One Piece game that came out? I think it was like an RPG, right? One Piece Odyssey. This looks like this is One Piece. Now, Secret came out before this. This is like the last one that came out. This is One Piece. This is how it should look. Okay? From a character design standpoint. Because this is very clearly noticeably Luffy. Hell, even the goddamn Pirate Warriors, which I do have. I do have Pirate Warriors 4 by Jude. Looks more like One Piece. Like this is One Piece. I have Pirate Warriors 4. I should get the DLC. Damn, how much DLC? Wait, they have Egghead DLC? So is Pirate Warriors 4 the last one they're making? Whatever. Point being, all of this side tangent is to show you this is what Grums does. This is all he's doing. He's just promoting AI. Like it's just AI. It's AI. This is it. It's AI then sucking on Trump's and Elon's dicks. That's it. That's it. Like that's it, right? This is all he does. Just to get a good understanding, this is all this guy does. So of fucking course, he's supposed now, mind you, the game he's supposed to be working on. This is the impromptu Grums grifting update. The game he's supposed to be working on is Ember or Amator or whatever you want to call. There hasn't been a post on this page since 2019. He's been working on this page pre-2010, working on his website. Is he still hitting on Xbox CEO? Of course. But if we go to emater.com, this is all he has. And he has a Discord and whatever, but he doesn't upload shit. He uploads nothing. Like what he does is NFTs and AI generated bullshit. That's it. That's it. Become a backer, you can't become a backer. No longer accepting, right? It got to the point where there is a thing called the victims of Grums that has more followers than his actual account of Embers. And they have more updates on their page than Grums does in his own Discord about this game. This is from January 13th. If the current pattern holds, this will result in one relatively substantial build release in April, followed by Grums again abandoning Ember to focus on X. Signs suggest that Grums may in fact be finally working on Emater. His posting output has dropped precipitously since January 10th, with him going on an entire 24 hours between posts, and he claimed yesterday that he will have more to say soon about his AI coding efforts. There's a hentai game called Ember. I know. A guy made it specifically to beat Grums to the punch. And then Grums stated that Ember was not the real final name of his product. He never copyrighted it. So for all these years he's been sitting on this, calling it Ember, he was like, oh, well, that's just not its real name, so it's whatever. AI coding efforts, yes. He doesn't know how to make games. Like, he simply does not know how to make games. He just overstates his importance to Blizzard during the WoW days, but he does not make games. Like, he rather post on X. But again, this is a web, like they're talking about. Grums declining tweet I put in recent days suggests that we may see 2026 first Ember build before end of April, following tradition. The after Thanksgiving build promised they made it backwards in November 2025 remains to be seen. So like, they're keeping track of all this shit, right? Mind you, I think they are trying to bring a lawsuit against him. But mind you, that's supposed to be his big thing. That's his moneymaker. And this is the shit that he posts. Mass media hallucinates worse than any AI, yet so many treat it as truth. This is all he does. And I really want to stress this. This is it. This is it. Pragmata has sold 1 million copies. I love how we're finally getting games that gamers love in drove. This past week went crazy. Windrose, Pragmata replaced Mouse PI. How can we handle so much winning? What winning? And he just complains about shit. But okay, that's enough of that. This is all he does. This is it. This is what all that amounts to. This is all that amounts to. Just literal AI slop. That's it. All of these like super anti-woke people are just fucking NPCs. They all love AI. AI is their god. It is the entity that they pray to every night because they cannot do anything outside of this. And all of his information, it's like no one cares. Requiem makes 7 million copies in 2 months. Okay. Xbox slashes game prices, dumps day one COD. This has been covered by other people. Genshin Impact's, I don't know who that is, drops August. Does this even look like a fucking Genshin Impact player? This just looks like a cosplayer. I don't even know what the fuck this is. But all of this is what he does. Like, this is supposed to be Raul Coley. All of this, mind you, wait, are there real people commenting on this? Are they stealing articles? Of course. They're stealing articles and they're promoting every single grifter I've ever talked about. Besides Gamer Nexus, but I don't think he's a grifter. But like, they're promoting Nerderotic, Yellow Flash 2, Vera Dark, Madam Savvy, Endymion, Smash JT. I haven't heard people. Asmongold TV, which you guys should know who that is. The Archcast, Hypnotic. Like, that's it. Just AI slop from dog shit content creators. Like, what do you mean, Smash JT? Laughable $60 Black Flag resync looked exactly like the same. Exactly the same. He's using AI generated thumbnails because it doesn't look the same. I'm not even gonna give him a click. This is what Black Flag resynced looks like. Like, this is what it actually looks like. They're trying to tell you this looks exactly the same as the old one, mind you. Let's just see if they do a side by side. They always do side by sides. They're trying to tell you this looks like a game that came out like 3 generations ago. This is a PS4 game. So 2 generations ago. This is a PS4 game. They're saying that this looks exactly like the original. How are the Chuds reacting to resync? Well, Smash AT literally called it the same game. You know what? Fine. Laughable $60 Black Flag resync looks exactly the same. Let's see. So they're saying, and to be blessedly merciful to you guys, we will not listen to what he's saying. We'll just show this. They're saying that this looks the same. He's saying this looks the same. Actually, I kind of have to listen to his fucking mousy Pee Wee Herman ass, simulacrum looking ass voice. So here we go.
The upcoming Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced remake is making a lot of people question if this is something that's even an improvement.
Who's questioning this? Who's questioning this is an improvement?
Over what existed 13 years ago.
Yes.
And it makes you wonder if gaming
massive
really
improvement
has peaked. And I know there's already going to be people in the comments who are like, of course it looks better. Or the weather's different. So it's hard to compare and contrast. My point being when I bring these kind of topics up is the difference in graphical fidelity and quality over the past decade plus is so negligible that it's actually funny to me when people are fighting over better graphics. I'm like, I feel like people forgot that this is what gaming has looked like for a while now.
That's not fucking true at all. Like he's literally showing you. Like, this is the perfect distillation of my issues with this moron and people like him. They're doing the 1984, do not trust your eyes, right? Trust our words. Listen to what we say. Do not trust your eyes. Don't trust your lying eyes. He's trying to tell you that games have always looked like the past on the right from the last 10 years, which isn't true. Like, at all. Some games have strong art direction so they can maintain, but as a whole, no, games look different. Like, he's literally showing you Black Flag original and resync thing. I just think it's funny. People try to compare it because games have looked the same for a decade. Look at these two. This is the equivalent. If I said, and I know I was making fun of what's his face, Kroby Cat about this, but if I said RE4, Resident Evil 4, right? If I told you that this game looks exactly like this game, you would tell me that my eyes do not function. Drastically different. Hell, this one looks different from the actual original Resident Evil 4 because you had remasters and you had different consoles. Like, it's completely different. It looks completely different.
Pirate Nation on X says side by side video comparison of a cutscene from the original 2013 Assassin's Creed Black Flag versus the upcoming resynced remake. And I gotta be honest, guys, the
Yes, Arkham Knight started showing its age 2 years after it came. Like, yeah, like people. Oh, this is just like what are we doing?
original one on the left here, I understand the weather is different and it has different weather patterns in the game, so the shadows are different. But just looking at the quality of the original one compared to the new one, I'm like, I can't even say maybe the new one's a little bit better. I'm like,
So like you see what I mean? Like this is something that is like okay, maybe you don't prefer their new look fine, but you have to be a dumbass to think that the next one, the recent one, looks slightly better. It looks leagues better. You have more. He kept saying the weather pattern is different. This was because of the limitations of the console. Okay, everything's clear here. The water reflections look better. The lighting's like, oh, lighting is different. No, this is the lighting they originally wanted. Like everything about the one on the right is an upgrade. It is. Now, some people always they're wax nostalgic about, oh, but they lost the sauce, the visual sauce in certain games, right? Like that happened with the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater remake. People are like, oh, it lost the original sauce, even though that wasn't the original. That was like a different version, whatever. But you cannot tell me that, mind you, when this game came out, this was considered pretty cutting edge. So this is a 2013 game. This is the 2026 game. You can't tell the difference. Like if I said this is the PS4 version and this is the PS5 version, you'd be like, well, yeah, of course. They look dramatically different. They're built off of different systems. There's more power for them to utilize. There's more computing power they can utilize. So they can have better draw distances. They can have more effects happening on screen. Like I'm not gonna listen to all this. Like it's so just empty criticism. That's why his channel is what it is. He's obsessed with attacking Marathon. And then in his cover, he has to give it this same fucking face because he has to lie. Like he has to lie. Forbes Paul Tassi uses lawsuit to discredit me. No one needs to discredit you. Oh my god, my daughter versus Hassan. Jesus Christ, dude. And it's AI generated. Marathon Mesh Circana lies exposed. He also hates Circana because okay, so I have to explain so much to you guys. So Smash JT hates Circana because Circana showed that Ghost of Yote was a wild success, right? Because they just tracked the numbers. And he wanted Circana to like basically change their entire marketing, which is they release the top like 3 or 4, and if you want more, you have to pay for their service. He doesn't like that. So because of that, he has a vendetta against Circana and an internal vendetta against Erika Ishii / Ghost of Yote simply because she's a woman. There is literally no other reason. He said he wanted Jin Sakai, even though his story is done and you were never promised Jin Sakai as a sequel character, he will always use her. The quartering has become now an acceptable target on all parties, not just people on the left. Everyone now can go for the quartering, which is why he has been consistently talking about the quartering. Like in a span of 3 days, he has 4 separate videos on him. Colin called out Smash GT, so but I know. I saw that. I have a stream about that. Pragmata is making them rethink life. Oh my god. You know what makes me feel so happy? Is that not a single one of his videos has gotten more views than like my video on like the Invincible shit. This guy has over 100K subscribers. I just crossed the 8,000 mark. And yet his sub to view ratio is such dog shit. Because this is his views fluctuate so wildly. Because he just does this bullshit that no one cares about. Like, look at this. Look at this stretch. Look at this stretch. Let's go right here. 19, 16, 6, 18, 22, 7, 20, 19, 20, 9, 21, 16, 14, 8.5, 17, 32, 10, 5, 26, 17, 14, 8, 9, 9, 12, 20, 11, 14, 12, 25, 5, 15, 13, 22, 24, 21, 30. Ooh, good stretch. And then boom, 8K, 6K, 5K, 7K, 12K, 10K, 26, 9K. Like, he just posted 2.9, like 8 hours ago. How many views does he have? He started in 2017. He has 3,000 videos. I started in fucking 2016. I have 1.8. I have 1.8K. He started a year later than me. And he has 3,000 videos? That's insane. That is insane. Like, holy shit, dude. That's yeah. At this point, where he's posting about a video every 4 6 hours. I know. Sometimes I take a couple of days in between videos, but it does warm my heart a bit to just see they have to he has to pump out 4 to 6 videos for people to click on his page, and I can give people a break. I made a bullshit, not a bullshit video, but I made a whatever video just laughing, almost 80K views. My time is done for now, but I had a one time on stream having a chat with you here. Have a great weekend, TV. Thank you so much for the love your channel. Thank you. And don't worry, we're streaming tomorrow too. So don't feel like you have to stay in. We're gonna be here tomorrow also. Recording is entering the final act of his rise and fall story. That drunken bastard is probably an inspiration to Twilight Buff. Let's smash JT. I mean, he's definitely an inspiration now. Look at his output. It's quartering. And then we have the quartering. Then guess what? The quartering. The quartering. And I post daily, keeps my content fresh, keeps me from burning out, and folks never get tired of seeing me. Yes, that's my thing too. He has no consistency in anything he does. So people are just what the fuck am I coming here for? You're talking about the quartering, then you're talking about Letitia James 4 weeks ago. What is Alana Pierce doing? Why is he so focused on Alana? She started a production company. Why is this news? It's news because Alana Pierce is one of the women he likes to harass. That's the only reason why it's news. That's the only reason why it's news. That's it. It's just Alana Pierce is doing something. Why is she doing this? What a dumbass question. All he wants is things to fail. That's it. That's it. All he wants is shit to fail. All he wants is shit to fail. Why is Craig in the quartering thumbnail? Because the quartering and Craig have beef now. And so, of course, this loser has to add his 2 cents to it, which is nothing. He has no good insight. He's one of the worst reaction channels out there. He has no good insights to anything. Unlike me, who has great insights into everything. But speaking of the quartering, I did find some shit. And I figured, the girls are fighting, so why can't I sit on the sideline? Why can't I sit on the sideline with my giant jug of water and enjoy the show? These guys have to make daily rage bait content because nothing in their videos is worth any substance or actually resonates with people. I know. They have to. It's a slop factor. It's kind of what Crimes New Roman was talking about in his video. There is a ecosystem where it's simply let's just turn out shit. Like, ironically, the people who claim that video game companies just give you slop after slop after slop, that's all their content. Their content is pure slop. A literal AI could do their work. Like, I mean, we're literally seeing it here. Like, this was, first off, by the way, such disrespect to Exhibition 33. Because who the fuck is this? This isn't Gustav. This isn't my Gustav. This is. I don't know who this fuck is supposed to be. But by the way, all of their staff is AI. It's all fake people. It's all fake people. Like, nothing here is real. Why does Gustav have a gun? Gustav does have a gun. But it's not. It's not this. Gustav does have a sword and a gun, but this is the gun Gustav have. Okay. Huh. Not sure Gustav. Maybe I should do. I did put an E. So he does have a gun, but it's a cool gun. Because Gustav is a cool character. Look at the sauce. Sword person. Look at the fucking sauce of this art style. Like, look at that shit. For those who come after. And then look at this fucking dripless bitch. How dare he? Anyways, though, we're gonna talk about the courting for a little bit. Oh, how did this get here? How did the Korosami get here? Weird. Anyways, so the courting's not having a good time, which we love over here. We love that. I love that he's having a good time. It is fucking great news. Oh my god, I got a 50 bits a while ago. I did not notice this. I'm so sorry. I work in the food industry trying to get AI generated burger recipes, like arguing with a man who is currently on fire. It's incomprehensible and panic freneticism. And I have actually seen an AI recipe. Oh my god, that's fucking terrible. Don't you hide Korosami? I don't know what you're talking about, geeks of all trades. I'm a regular, normal man. I would not support such degeneracy as a canonical ship, okay? But I think I should start from. Oh, wait, hold on. Now I remember why I had these bookmarks. It was watching people suffer. Here we go. We can text on later. Text on later. Here's a palate cleanser from watching Smash JT. Unfortunately, Flash Smash JT. Here you guys go.
At the end of the day, I just want this to be over. I would prefer I don't want to have to give her anything. I don't want anything from her. I just want her to fucking leave me alone. I'm not the one that's the harasser. I'm the one being harassed.
I'm pretty sure that just got me copyrighted, but whatever. Yes, this clip I'm gonna keep because when it finally happens, this would be very useful for my future endeavors. But he loves to pretend. He loves to pretend that he wasn't saying shit like November 26th, 2024. Where's the lawsuit, Alyssa? Alyssa Mercante's lawsuit's a scam. Gone one full day without talking about me challenge impossible. Pretty sure this is actual and pro harassment. When's the lawsuit, Alyssa? How's that lawsuit coming along? How's that lawsuit coming along? Music was too loud? Oh, my bad. But he's like, how's that lawsuit coming along? Let's see how that lawsuit's coming along. we would go by. Oh, we were gonna do it by ascending. No, descending. Oh, April 21st. An in-person status conference was held before Magistrate Judge Eskenazi on the 21st. Appearances by Remy Green for plaintiff and Ronald Coleman for defendant. The parties discussed the outstanding discovery disputes, status of the jurisdictional discovery, defendant's motion for protective order, as discussed on the record. Defendant withdraws the 81 motion for protective order. The parties agree to unseal all filings in 57 and 69, and the clerk is respectfully directed to unseal the same. The defendant is directed to conduct searches using the specific search terms agreed by parties on the record during the conference and produce all remaining jurisdictional discovery, including any emails, text messages, social media messages, Discord communications, and Twitter communications by April 29th. By the same date, defendant is also directed to provide revised formal discovery responses addressing the concerns raised by plaintiff in full compliance with federal rules of civil procedure 33 and 34. For those reasons stated on the record, the court grants plaintiffs. I'm being rated again. Oh shit! I don't like. Oh, Igloo, thank you. I don't know who this person is, but thank you. We love raids over here. So basically, he has to pay for the lawyer's fees for the bullshit he's been doing. Hell yeah! I'm getting raided on Twitch, you guys. We love that. I think I should start making different sounds though for when things happen, so I'm not surprised that anything happened and going on here. But welcome, everyone new here. If you missed it, well, I mean, you did because you just joined. We were just briefly going over Smash JT's lawsuit, which he's definitely not having a good time with. The lawsuit in which he definitely did not want, even though he asked for it repeatedly, but he got hit with slap laws. Oh no! Slap lawsuit means that the lawsuit has no merits. He got basically hit with fines because he's been intentionally and publicly stating that his goal was to drag out these procedures in order to be a pain in the ass. And now he's like, I just want to be left alone. When he was saying shit like this, like taunting her to sue him. Then she sues him. Now he's like, she's obsessed with me. She's obsessed with me. So now he has to pay lawyer fees. Who thought she's about critical drinker and dipshit? Thank you. Thank you. I haven't covered critical drinker in a little bit. I probably should go back to that. But yeah, I will always cover these dipshits because I personally hate them. And it's fun for me. Like certain that there's a clip of Smash JT, they said like fucking crying. And like that's what I wanted to see. This is all for tomorrow's video, by the way. No. Where is it? Where is it? God, if you would just go through my bookmarks, you guys would think I'm like the biggest fucking freak in the world. JT is the shittiest dipshit. For sure. I have to keep tabs on so many fucking people that it looks like I'm an insane person. Which, not untrue. By the way, just so you guys know, this isn't me being creepy. There's an article about a med student in India who pretended to be a right-wing. I got any follow that one black guy. That's right, black for black. There's a creator, a blonde AI influencer who pretended to be real, and this is why I bookmarked it. I thought it was funny because when I made my video that said that no one grifts to the left, I had people calling me dumb, and then you have a person here who's like, yeah, they tried this grift. They tried this grift to the left and no one bought it. So then they made her into a blonde MAGA person and everyone fell for it. See, I'm not kidding. Look, it's Emily Hart's account blew up. Every reel I posted was getting 3 million views. He said, I haven't seen an easier way to make money online. He attributes his success to the following. The MAGA crowd is made up of super dumb people and they fall for it. I told you. I told you this was true. I told you this was true. It is no one grips to the left because all the dumb people with money are on the right. This is the guy from India, by the way, doing this. But okay, let's focus in, you guys. You guys tighten up, okay? All these random tangents you go on. You guys gotta tighten up and focus, okay? Get to your points. Jesus Christ. Guess I'll have to show you how it's done. So, I am locking in. Thank you. One person locking in. I'll show the rest of my audience how to lock in, since they want to go on tangents about AI creators and what's in whose bookmarks. So first off, if you guys don't know, the quartering is a fucking creep. Like he's the guy who gave advice. Okay, I probably do have to do some like explaining. The quartering. First off, the quartering does shit like this. This is one of his many channels, but this is the kind of output the quartering does. No one on the left really messes with AI, not to the level they do. But this is, damn, he gets really bad views too for an account with 2 million subscribers. Dead channels dying. But this is the kind of content he puts out. Ostensibly right wing, blatantly biased. Just, if he can have a black person on the cover, my God, is he going to do it? My God, is he going to do it? But this is the kind of content he did. And yes, Geek, he did try to tell people how to hide their CP. He told them how to hide their files in a video that I had found originally, and I lost it. Here it is.
It's more of a public service announcement than anything else. At the office this week, we had a situation where one of the techs came across some pictures on a customer's computer that were of the child pornography variety. I don't know.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at CSAM. I'm laughing at the fact that he very clearly tried to make a term that danced around the subject and couldn't think of it. So he's like, I have a couple of photos on my phone. You might say they're of the me cranking it variety. It's like, oh, so you have photos of you cranking it. Like, that's what the whole look was. Like, he was trying to.
One of the techs came across some pictures on a customer's computer that were of the child pornography variety.
Like, that's not.
I don't really know there's any tack way to put that. But
there is.
The customer was reported and subsequently arrested, I believe, is last that I heard. And is even more serious. However, I've never known a tech in my life that ever took anything other than like videos or music off computers. But the point of this video is just to remind people that, as techs, we read your emails, so to speak. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it happens.
They're basically telling you to. I know Lance, friend of the channel, by the way. I should try to reach out to Lance, see if he wants to do like a talk about something. But yeah. So this is the quartering. This is Jeremy Hambley. And as you can see, if you just type in the quartering, you're gonna find a lot of people. Invincible shorts. I've been watching less Invincible stuff. Okay, don't judge me. But you can see, as you can see, there has been a certain uptick in the content of people covering the quartering. You mod for Lance, nudge him. Yes, please nudge him. But you'll notice how there is a quite the uptick in people talking about him, especially certain kinds of people. Most of these accounts were, dude, I can't watch Kino Cast. I know. You can't watch Kino, by the way, if you guys don't know, because this is what kind of started everything for him. He made a false copyright strike on Kino Casino's channels, and that set everything off. As you see right here, I'm not gonna get what DSP's take is. I don't care about DSP. I found out who DSP was this year, and I'm cursed forever now. But as you can see, fucking everyone's talking about this now. Everyone's talking about this now. The quartering would get absolutely, mind you, this is a guy who averages about, let's say, 44, let's say like 35, 40K views on a channel that has 2 million subscribers with 10,000 videos. He's not a guy with a lot of motion, but he's a known entity in the right space, like the alt-right conservative grifter space. And so what I told you guys a long time ago is these people hold no like loyalties. If you are a convenient target for them and everyone else agrees, they will eat you alive. They did the same exact thing to Melanie Mac. And I called that shit out years ago. And now Melanie Mac is friends with him. They will do it to each other no matter what. Because at the end of the day, what they care about is content. And it's not like the quartering was this super chill guy and then these secrets came out. He's been a blatant piece of shit his entire time online, but none of these people talked about him. But now that it's acceptable to talk about him because he did something to another perceived or like another right-wing content creator, now it's open season. Now they're not going to deflect and be like, oh, it's just the wokies going after him. Now it's Mudahar can go after him. Brittany Venti, who's a fucking racist, who's the ex-girlfriend of Think Before You Sleep, she can go after him. Chud Logic can go after him. Mr. Sen can go after him. Smash JT can go after him. Like, everyone can go after him. Nicholas can go after him. Side scrollers can go after him. Legal Mindset can go after him. These aren't people they would go after. Both sides are going after him over false copper. That's what I'm saying. When it was everything else that the quartering has done, it was only like the left going after him for his bullshit. The right didn't care. He could do everything. But the second he fucked up with someone's money, the one thing they all care about, now it's actually, he's always been fucking terrible. He's always been the worst. Let's cover all his shit. Holland said turn on Smash JT or Tectone. They won't turn on Smash JT because Smash JT doesn't have the support he thinks he does. And Tectone, they've low-key already have, because the very few people who sweep for him aren't very vocal supporting him. And they're also other losers. It's fucking like, what's his name? GB Reviews. But yeah, all this is like again, you can pick your poison. You could just literally go to any video talking about him. But what I wanted to show is to really highlight how creepy this motherfucker is. This is from Camelcast, who I don't follow, but he very clearly is in that sphere of like, we will talk about him now because he's made a bunch of videos on this guy. Like, goddamn. Like a lot of videos. What you got? You have 225,000 subscribers. You know, I'm not gonna look into his metrics in this, but he's been making a lot of videos on the quartering. But he's also clearly one of those types of content creators. But anyways, here's what he's found. Hey, so I just woke up. Good morning. Here's the quartering's face. Does anyone know when their dead domain raid was? I know. Person in my Twitch chat. This happened actually an hour ago. Dead domain raided me an hour ago. And as your reward for waking up, here's the big picture face of the quartering, doing what he does.
If I did see a girl in a chainmail bikini, you know, we would have got her on camera. Here's a MILF. And we got, oh boy, we got a thick girl right there, boys. Rawr. Oh, here's another one.
This is a man who's married and he's at a Renaissance fair where there are children with their moms, and he's saying shit like this.
This is in Bristol, Wisconsin. Ooh, her cup overflows. She's a little bit old, but she overflows.
Did you hear that comment? Again, this is a woman walking with her child in her hand.
Overflows. She's a little bit old.
He's saying she's a little bit old, but she's overflowing.
She overflows. Adam Racehorse, the super chats will blot out the sun. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. MILF, yeah, she's keeping it tight.
Mother with her 2 children, MILF, yeah, she's keeping it tight. Married man, I which is a weird sentence for me to say, but this is a married man talking.
No, she DTF, she got kids. Yeah, boy. Here you go. Oh, wow. Excuse me, officer. I know it looks bad, but somebody paid me $20 to do it.
And just to really hammer it home, this is what Jeremy looks like. So this is the guy saying all those things. This guy. This guy. That's him. That's the man. And so this is and then this is what his response was. Jeremy's response to my video of him filming women around and filming them and their children, whilst loudly saying things like her body's still tight, she has kids, no, she's down to fuck. Like, I kept watching for some sort of epic own, and I just don't get it. This is just normal banter. I just think none of these weirdos have ever done a normal thing in their lives terminally online. That is not normal banter to say to yourself effectively. Even though you're streaming to your chat, you are just saying these things. People don't normally just say shit like, I know she's down to fuck because she has 3 children. Look at this lady, she's old, but she's overflowing. This is something someone who's terminally online would say. And so he's having a pretty fucking bad day. I once had a cup of the Quarterings coffee and I was spitting up blood. Well, maybe it's because he abandoned his trademark due to no statement of use or extension requested timely for filed after notice of allowance was issued. So his coffee brand, which apparently also bankrupted him, I believe, or he had to like fire a bunch of his staff because his coffee idea didn't go well. Like he's just not a good guy. He's not a good dude. I'm not gonna watch the drama channel talk about it, but I just think it's funny that they're all fighting. Like Yellow Flash is now covering the Quartering. The Quartering puts his worst statement out. You know what? Let's see.
Because we got to talk about this shit, okay? We got to talk about this because, yes, we've been going down this whole Quartering rabbit hole for a while. And one of the big things for the Quartering defense has been, well, and boy, oh boy, does it just... Jer is...
I think he admitted that he got cucked.
I am shocked.
And boy, oh... And I'm saying, well, we're just attacking his wife.
Right. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to watch this video because my ears can't take that. But yeah, he basically admitted that he's like getting cucked or whatever. And you know the people on the left, on the right, if you get cucked, that's just like, that's worse than death. Yellow Flash. No, Yellow Flash sucks. Like, I want to make it be known. I think they're all terrible. They're all terrible. But because they're all terrible, I think it's hilarious that they're fighting with each other. Oh yeah, I watched a bit of this video. It's nothing. It's nothing. We watched it on Steam. It's nothing. Monday Matt calls out the Quartering. Monday Matt is still... There's no way. Mundane Matt is still a thing? No way. This is what Monday Matt looked like? Wait, Matt Jarbo, you're a Monday Matt? I'm sorry, I'm getting blasted past. Meanwhile, if it was a left-leaning content creator, he could have openly and stuff for years and no one would have cared. Exactly. No one would have given a shit. Wait, does he have? Okay, whatever. I'm getting too lost in the sauce. But holy shit. I heard Monday Matt from the Gamergate days. Press F for Monday Matt's dead channel. Wait, I want to see if his channel is it still like here? I am cringe remembering anyone from the anti-CW community. So you see, you were there. You were there during Gamergate. I know you were. I was there too. I didn't know he looked like this. Anyways, though, the quartering is. I'm not gonna watch Smash JT, but the quartering is going through it, and I love it. I love it so much because all of these people, like I've always said, by the way, Lakers fucking pulled this win out. All of these people are miserable. Reforged Gaming coped after getting filtered and replaced. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say something. If I ever get to the point where people are doing AI thumbnails of me as a content, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh legitimately. Big Man Blastos, you already know. You already know. My YouTube page looks insane, by the way, because this is my brain. This is my brain. I watched the Big Joe video on Mr. Beast Season 2, and then I also watched a Folding Ideas video on Mr. Beast Season 2. See? And this is the second day video. I was also watching the Domain stream for a little bit. Huge wrestling figure, Jim Cornette once got outed for being into cuckold. The next day he said on podcast response, they're mad because my sex is better than theirs. Okay, I'm gonna say something straight up. I think people are so weird about cuckolding in general. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that like you're just in a corner, like watching. You could be the wife could be the cuckold. You could take turns. Like everyone's so into everyone else's like sexual stuff, but I'm like, hey, they're getting laid though, right? Like she's with him, she's enjoying him, they're married or whatever. There looks like no algorithm. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the TTBN broadcast. The algorithm has no power here. When you enter this chat, you left the safety of the algorithm. You got NBA highlights. You got big man blasters. You have disturbing backstories. You got. It's all you need. It's all you need. You got some shit about Invincible. You have an account I've never heard of in my life. You got Star Fox. Is that Lucan? That is Lucan. I don't want to spoil shit for people. But if you're an Invincible fan, just know we are halfway. We are halfway. How many times do I click the don't recommend channel? It doesn't matter. Look at my bookmarks, okay? Look at the shit I bookmark for you guys so I can talk about it with you guys and make content for you guys. I have to indulge in this shit. There is no saving me. There's no algorithm to fix me. It doesn't matter if I don't recommend it because I seek it out. I type in their names because I cover these people. My algorithm's like, what the fuck is what? My algorithm literally, if we just refresh it, watch. Because I typed their Monday map, I just refresh it. Now it's man carrying thing. Now it's Invincible, and a channel with 113 views. The Fire Force epilogue. Look, okay, let's look at this. What's new to me? Invincible Transformers, chill vibes, Baki, Vox Machina, small streamers do this. Eat, train, recover. Anthony Edwards. Like, this is what YouTube gives me. Okay, it's eclectic. It's called eclectic. It's not called ADHD. It's called being eclectic. All right. But yeah, this is the like basically YouTube thinks I am falling down the alt-right pipeline, but then I'm continuously being in this loop, like a wash cycle. Because it's like when they try to show you shit like from now you to drug sales, selling like this is fitness content. I don't care about football. I have never watched a single second of like Queso, Asmongold, Schizoid. Like, I've never watched this. Supernatural, the complete recap. I mean, I watched Supernatural, but I never typed it in. I expected Invincible binge. I binged most of the series over the last 4 days. I love Invincible. I read the comics. I always loved Invincible. I fucking hate the animation fans so much, though. Like, I hate them so much. Alicia X Death. I don't know who that is. Did I pass that person? But yeah, this is a full car chase? Sure, whatever. Like, this is what YouTube thinks I want. I didn't even know Christopher Titus had a podcast. Wait, I am kind of curious about this one, this video though. I'm kind of curious about this. See, it worked. Paprika, what? That's Satoshi Kon. Come on now. Come on now.
Are most poised to dislike it, and I gave it a more than favorable review. Meanwhile, you're sitting around virtue signaling, talking about how I'm a bad person, and you never even played it. Pathetic, bro.
I'm gonna say it again. If you want to make a video game and you have a female protagonist and you want guys to play it,
You better have huge fucking tits or
Oh, this is Tectone right here for sure.
a big ass, and hopefully both.
and if you don't have those two things, you're not making a game for your audience.
You told us that this is not the way it is, and
It's got 1,000 players. They're probably not going to make their money back on the game. They're going to lose the studio and then they're going to be out of a job. You want to cry about that, get mad, shit all over yourself, go ahead.
but it's not going to change reality.
This is too good of an artwork for fucking Asmongold, dude. This is too good for him.
And people don't hate me.
What a surprise that somebody wants to play someone who's attractive and visually appealing.
Oh,
No, just
see?
hypocrites? No, well, it's people.
So what they're
A lot of
showcasing
people
here, you
say
guys.
And they think that they want something, but they actually don't want that, or they want the opposite. This happens all the time. The idea that
The
men
fucking-
are like the ones that are sexual and girls are not, absolutely not true. You're underselling how perverted men can get. You've been on the internet long enough. You should know this. No,
Oh
I'm not
my God.
underselling it. I'm
This
saying
is
that
great.
girls can match that energy. They're mad at me. They're unhappy. Oh my God, I can't believe he's saying this.
Wait, okay, it's a woman with big titties, but she's dark skinned, so it's too woke. It's woke.
Oh, wait, that's it. There it is.
Oh my God. I don't know if this is real or not. Yeah, that's it. Oh, bro.
Oh my
Nobody has
God.
any idea. Here we go.
Emergency Ascension. Oh my God. What's this video called? It's called Asmongold Schizoid. Oh my god. I should have suspected that. This is too good for him.
Say the fucking N-word, but you guys are so fucking brilliant that you know a streamer and his fucking relationships better than his fucking friends that he interacts with in private.
This is part 2 coming soon. Wait a minute. I have to tap in on this. I'm sorry. I have to actually keep up with this now. Oh my god. Your depiction of Asmongold actually is cleaner than what he is in real life. I know. That's why I'm saying that this is too good for him. This is too good for him. This is too good for him. Like, look at this shit.
If this is real or not. Yeah, that's it.
A tornado once struck Asmongold's home, ended up doing about $100,000 worth of improvements. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. That was way too good of like quality for this shit. I watch Amon Animation. I saw his video on Asmongold. That was more accurate. This is too nice to him because he resembles too much of like a human being. Even though his mentality is so fucking warped. But I guess the algorithm got me this time. Good job, algorithm. Don't know why it keeps trying to tell me how to upscale my content though. Yeah, Amon Animation was about him turned to a rat. Real Kafka-esque, or like a roach. This is what it thinks I like. And it's not wrong, I guess. Fix this. Fix my beard. Like, bro, do I look like I have beard problems? The fake philosophy destroying man. Wait. I think this was the video my my editor sent me actually. That I wanted to actually go over. Let me see. Was that the video he sent me? He sent me some things to, yep, it was this video. He sent me some things to look at, and I said I would look at it. LeBron saved France from who? Can 2018 LeBron prevent France from falling to Nazi Germany during World War II? Yes. Yes, he can.
Ladies and gentlemen, since one of my last videos called The Dangerous Lie Behind Being a Man, apparently that video struck a nerve to a lot of people. The video had roughly 140 or 150,000 views. A lot of people agreed with me. They gave their genuinely helpful input. A lot of them, they thanked me. They said that I didn't know I was carrying this until we put a name on it. However, some of them were genuinely angry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of people felt threatened by the video.
Right, this video is called The Fake Philosophy Destroying Men by one Chumpum Balls. I've never heard his account, but buddy, it sounds like you're about to go off. So I'm gonna let you cook.
Video that I posted on YouTube. And look, I've been sitting with some of the comments for a while because they had a pattern. And once
the philosophy has got to be stoicism. It's got to be stoicism.
See it, you cannot unsee it. I'm going to try to keep this short, okay? So I apologize for my yapping session, but I'm going to go for a couple of examples. So, first example, guy number 1, he spent 6 replies telling another viewer that vulnerability is weakness. That survival of the fittest is just reality, and the moment you show weakness, you lose respect. You know, he was very confident in his words. He called the video toxic positivity and virtue signaling.
Toxic positivity.
He was basically saying that it was just empty content for naive people. And then 2/3 through the argument, 2/3 of the way through.
Stoicism is a real... No, I know Stoicism is a real argument. What I'm saying, though, is people have taken the philosophy of Stoicism and have turned to this toxic mentality where essentially you cannot show any emotion, and that's the end of it. That's it. Just don't show emotion. Just don't show emotion. Okay, but toxic positivity is a real thing and a real problem. Yeah, but it's never in the way it's utilized. People will say shit like, oh, if you, for like talking about art, for example, right? They're like, oh, if you are just saying everyone's art's good or art is subjective, you're lowering the quality of art. You're just being too positive. Like, no, that's not toxic positivity. Toxic positivity is another way of saying just like blind optimism, right? Like you're just blindly optimistic no matter the situation to the point where you're delusional. Like the people who just think like what's happening in America will just work itself out magically. Everything will be fine one day. Like that's toxic positivity. That's blind optimism. There has to be some actual like real work to put in to get those outcomes. Toxic positivity is real true. I mean, High Guard is proof of it. High Guard is proof of positioning. In other words, had it not come out at the end of the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley just said he didn't like the game, no one would have cared.
The argument, he quietly admitted that he opens up to his partner. So he basically moved his entire position. He moved his entire position without even noticing. He walked into a comment section to argue against emotional suppression and spent the whole conversation suppressing. Guy number 2. He wrote, I think, 3 or 4 paragraphs, and he was.
Well, I see a lot of people in my place think that High Guard failed because of toxic positivity, because of no proper feedback at all. I mean, that's not something that's provable, right? Like, you weren't there to look at all the feedback the developers were getting and then what they implemented. Because if there was no feedback at all, the developers wouldn't have been like, hey, we heard you, and we're going to have like a 5v5 or whatever. So, like, again, I don't think it's toxic positivity. What I think would happen with High Guard is it was another live service game entering a very competitive market, and it already had a lot of shit going against it because it announced, then it went quiet, and it allowed those unsavory characters to slip in and start to form public opinions online about it.
Very analytical, you know, he was very analytical. He called the video quite feminine. You know, he said that therapy is inherently feminine because most therapists are women.
That's so stupid. Oh my God. That's the same logic that LD, Legendary Drops, used when he said, this game in the background, Crimson Desert, is for men because it doesn't have women and it has cursing in it.
He even had a number. He said that 75 or 76% of the therapists are women. So he went and found a number. He talked about duty, strength, honor, rationality, and then someone in the comment section asked him one question. Not a philosophical challenge, but just an observation. He said, you call this video feminine, but you just spent 3 or 4 paragraphs emotionally reacting to it. Marcus Aurelius kept a private journal.
Marcus Aurelius, yep, we're definitely getting to Stoicism. We're definitely getting to Stoicism.
His feelings for decades. Was that feminine too? Or are you just putting a gender label on your discomfort so you don't have to actually sit with it?
Also, can I just say something? It's so awesome to hear this sort of rhetoric coming from, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm actually fucking with this guy, but from a guy who presents like this, bald, bearded, tatted up, with that accent, and he's very like rational. Like it's awesome to hear this same shit that I'm saying coming from someone else who clearly has like a different cultural background and experience than me, because it lets you know that a lot of people are seeing through this bullshit and are trying to teach people that, yeah, what you're doing is not emotionally healthy. And in fact, you're the one who's being overly emotional.
His whole framework folded. He said, well, in the right context, obviously. So, one question.
Restored feminine. Yep. His name was Sigmund Fraulein.
Guy number three, and wait, let me read this directly. Yeah, guy number 3 said this. I've had to cut off multiple longtime friends because they kept wanting to talk to me about their own fuck-ups and feelings. Just stop being a pussy, own your shit, and shut up. So there was no...
I mean, women weren't always allowed to get advanced degrees to become therapists. True. Like, I don't know if he's going to touch on this, but the real reason why you see a lot of women in fields that are considered, feminine is because women are socially conditioned to focus more and value more on emotional social connections, right? Men are more conditioned to do things outside of that. So, for example, even taking in consideration the massive amounts of laws in place that prevented women from like having their own credit card or having their own bank accounts or like driving, all that stuff. In the workplace, men will typically gravitate to jobs that will require them a loss of social flexibility. Because as men, we aren't really conditioned to put value on social relationships. Everything's a function. So I go to work and I work to get money, and I'll keep working because getting money is a testament to my identity as a man, my ability to provide. Whereas women are more socially conditioned to care about people's emotions socially, which is why they have friends for longer periods of times who are actually their friends and not like the meme where guys can become instant friends with someone one day. That's not a friendship. You don't know each other on the surface. You know each other surface level. There's no depth to it. That's why for a lot of men, when they actually do get in a relationship with women, they have an overreaction to women because women are treating them the same way they treat their other friends. Like the women are treating their boyfriends the way they treat their friends, where they have a genuine care for them. And men don't really experience that. So then they overreact and go like, oh my gosh, she's the one. And she's like, I just said hi to you. And you fucking folded. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of this is social conditioning. So like women would naturally be more in places where like, let's talk about emotions and feelings because those are important. A lot of men have to learn that level of empathy, unfortunately. Because like that guy said, like, yeah, just don't be a pussy. Like imagine that guy's a therapist. Don't be a pussy. Own up your shit. No. Women working indoors, men working outdoors. They set gender roles on certain professions. That's why professions like therapists, nurses, etc. back then. Yeah, so that's a part of it too. Like we put this in a very gendered context because that's how we've been conditioned. Dismotive friends over being good friends. Yeah, exactly. Toxic masculinity has done a lot. Yes, toxic masculinity is a direct outcome of patriarchy and this bullshit fake version of stoicism. This is all patriarchal bullshit.
No argument, no framework. This was just pure detonation. You know, he couldn't just leave. He had to perform not giving a shit to strangers on the internet, which is, and I say this with genuine compassion, the least stoic thing a person can do. And then example number 4, if you guys, if you want, go and read the comments and check the comments, like the new comments or the ones that don't have that many upvotes, so you guys see what I'm talking about. So guy number 4, he spent several comments explaining that emotions aren't real.
What?
Emotions are just chemicals, just trained responses. He said that emotions are meaningless noise that weak people mistake for truth.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Oh my god. I love the I am a purely logical being. Emotions are just chemical reactions and they don't matter. Hey, you know what else is a chemical reaction? Fucking cyanide. If I gave you cyanide, You don't think that would matter? You don't think those chemical reactions would matter? These chemical reactions that people try to distill as just as simply emotions is what's literally allowed humanity to survive. That's it. Without emotions, humanity dies. GG's, we're done. Like I'm a logical being, you guys. Yeah, you're so logical you can't see how your mentality is what preventing you from experiencing happiness. You just want to be miserable because it makes you. That's the appearance of being intelligent. They think they're above emotions. Everything that exists and will exist is a chemical reaction. Exactly my point. Like, oh, just like it's such a performative male bullshit. Look how smart I am. Look how smart I am. Like,
He was very detached on his words, you know. And then buried in one of those comments, almost like it slipped out by accident, he said, "It took me months to be courageous enough to be vulnerable. And what I got was the opposite of help. I almost ended up dead alone." So there it is.
it's fear.
The philosophy isn't a conclusion. It's scar tissue. He tried, he got hurt, he nearly didn't survive. And the only way to make peace with that, with being failed by the people who should have shown up, was to rebuild a worldview where needing people was the problem.
Exactly.
Where the lesson learned from almost dying alone is never ask again.
Okay, not to spoil a video I recorded yesterday, but I basically touch upon this topic right here, which is, and I use Invincible as a framing device for this, but it is the people that you see who promote themselves as being stoic are people who are afraid. It's fear. These people are driven by fear. It is the fear of being known, it is the fear of being left. And so to never experience those chemical reactions, they build up these facades. And then they wonder why they're so miserable. And deep down, they know why, because they won't allow themselves to feel anything due to fear. So then they strengthen the facade. So now it becomes, like he said, the world needs to change. I shouldn't need to reach out to you. You shouldn't need help. That's the problem. You're all too weak. Let's do a genocide. Let's call the weak, like a Viltrumite. Another framing for Invincible. I mean, Invincible is just too topical. It's just too pertinent to what's happening right here. But you'll see when I upload that video.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's not strength at all. That's a wound that learned to walk upright and call itself a position.
Oof. God damn, that was a fucking bar.
Now, look, I want to be honest, because honesty is the only thing that makes this conversation worth having. Some of what these guys are saying isn't entirely wrong. The world does punish vulnerability in certain contexts. That's real. That's real. There are environments, certain friendships and certain family structures where...
Run that back? I should run that back.
It's not strength at all. That's a wound that learned to walk upright and call itself a position.
Oof.
Now, look, I want to be honest, because honesty is the only thing that makes this conversation worth having. Some of what these guys are saying isn't entirely wrong. The world does punish vulnerability in certain contexts. That's real. That's real. There are environments, certain friendships and certain family structures where showing the real thing genuinely does get used against you.
All bars, all true, right? There are situations where you being vulnerable doesn't work out for you, but that is the price of being your truest self. You can't guarantee that people's reaction to when you tell them your truest, most deepest, darkest thoughts is going to be positive, but that's the risk you take. To me, it's no different than I walk through that door, some maniac might try to take my life because of things I said online, because of how I look, because of, how I dress, whatever. But I can't let that stop me from living my life, from going outside, from experiencing new things, from trying new stuff because of the fear of it ultimately not working out. Like, have I personally been targeted by people? Yes, right? I think a lot of people have, but I can't let that stop me from going outside, from doing certain things, from engaging in things.
Where openness generally does invite exploitation. I've lived that. I'm not telling you the fear is irrational, because sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's the direct result of something that actually happened to you.
Yes, trauma.
Something with a name and a face attached to it. And the point about emotional regulation, about not being controlled by every feeling that passes through you, about developing the capacity to not fall apart in every difficult situation, that's not wrong either. That's actually closer to what real stoicism argues than most people realize. And we'll get there. We'll get there. So I'm not here to dismiss the pain underneath the position. I understand where it comes from because I came from the same place. But here's the thing. Understanding where a belief comes from doesn't make the belief true. You can arrive at the conclusion through completely real, completely valid pain and still be wrong about what that pain is telling you.
This is, oh my God, that's such a good fucking sentence. See, if my brain worked better, this is how I would sound. But that is so true. And you are seeing this happening in our gaming space, right? You're seeing this happen in our political space, but I'll keep it less political today, more political tomorrow. But you are seeing this happening right now. You have these people, these gamers, what, capital G, derogatory, but still, you have these gamers who feel like they have got the raw end of the deal. And yeah, there are lots of game companies out there that look at gamers as just consumers, who look at them and say, we're going to give you dog shit, who treat them poorly. I'm not going to sit here and say that every single game that comes out is great. There are lots of games that have come out that disrespect the fandoms, all those things. I understand that. I also understand that a lot of people use gaming as an escape mechanism, to escape from their terrible situations, whatever it may be. A sense of loneliness, maybe your family's not the best, maybe your friends don't understand you, you don't feel like you have a place to belong, and gaming was your place to belong. That's real. That happens to people. But your worldview that's born from that can be wrong. You are looking for enemies everywhere where they don't exist because of your past traumas. Your trauma can be real, but that doesn't mean the outcomes that you are looking for exist. Just because a game has changed art styles or changed creative directors doesn't mean there is a cabal of people out there to specifically make your games worse. In other words, just because you don't find people hot in video games anymore doesn't mean the West is intentionally trying to make women in games look ugly. Because that's your worldview.
The fact that you believe something deeply, that you've built your identity around it, and that you defend it against any challenge, none of that is evidence.
Yes.
Conviction is not the same as correctness, especially when the belief perfectly justifies the armor you're already wearing. Especially when the philosophy conveniently makes the damage look deliberate. So I want to ask a different question.
Dan, that's kind of exactly what I was saying. He says what I say, just better, huh? That's what I'm realizing. At least in this video, he says what I say, but just better. Because that's more or less what I was getting at. These people who call themselves gamers, people like Asmiko, Tectone, Tactical Templar, Nuxtaku, Kirsha, Rev, and others, other right-wing drama slob tubers. Yeah, they're the same. It's people who believe because they were slighted for a myriad of reasons that they are now justified in their worldview. Like when Asmiko, in that schizo clip we watched, but when he was talking about how if you don't have women in your games that have big titties and butts, then you're failing your audience. That is a worldview born out of his life experiences, where he grew up and he saw women being objectified, and he said that was cool and the norm and awesome. And that made me play games when I was 11. Ergo, that is the only way your game will be successful.
Not, is this person wrong? No. I want to ask, at what point does a position stop being a philosophy and start being a defense mechanism? Because there's a real difference. There's a real difference. And the difference isn't in the difference isn't in the content of the argument. It's in what happens when the argument gets challenged. A genuine philosophical position can withstand pressure. It can update when confronted with something it hadn't accounted for. The person holding it can engage with the counter argument without needing to destroy it. They can say, that's a fair point, without ever experiencing it as a threat to their entire sense of self. Now, what does a defense mechanism do?
So I will say, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this whole video tonight because it's almost 40 minutes long, but I will say so far, you know what? I will favorite this video. I will finish this video later on because it is somewhat late and it's getting longer here. But I will say that so far, this motherfucker spit. This is basically, again, the same shit I've been saying forever now. You cannot use everything as a defensive mechanism. You cannot be like, oh, well, I'm not the problem, but it's you guys. If you're attacking me, no, that's wrong. You can't do that. You cannot have a philosophy wielded as a cudgel against anyone who disagrees with you. Your philosophy is your moral compass. It is how you live your life by. It should not be, like he said, a defense mechanism. It shouldn't be the second someone challenges you, it's wall. It's okay, perfect example. As a Christian, I don't think man should marry man. You're using your ideology as a defense mechanism. That's not a good enough reason to say that or to think that or to try to institute change based off of that. You simply throwing in your religious belief or your ex identity in situations where it doesn't call for it is being used as a shield. Like that's using as a defense. Any criticism is now you're attacking my faith. No, you brought your faith up here. We're talking about abortion access. And you're saying as a Christian, I don't think abortion should exist. Well, why? Because you think all life is sacred. Lots of people who aren't Christians also think all life is sacred, but that includes the life of the mother, right? But if you're just gonna be like, well, my beliefs, then it's a defense mechanism. You have no argument.
A defense mechanism does the opposite. It gets louder when challenged. It shifts the goalposts and then denies it moves. People feel threatened by it. They get angry by it. It reaches for words like weak and naive and feminine. And it's not even because those words are accurate, but because labeling something lets you dismiss it without actually engaging with it. That's it.
Wow. I'm going to save this video for next stream. But that's almost like this guy. It's almost like I was talking about this whole thing earlier in this stream where this person made a statement, I corrected it, and then they moved the goalpost. Just to recap, people who weren't here, they said that IGN, because they keep bringing IGN up for some reason, they said IGN gave Stellar Blade, Liza P, and Black Myth Wukong a bad score. And then I said they gave Stellar Blade a 7 out of 10 and Wukong an 8 out of 10. And they also gave an 8 out of 10 to Liza P. And to which this person says, oh, thanks for clarifying. People would have gone bonkers if IGN gave those games anything below that number. And then he started calling me like a goon or whatever. And I just said, yeah, okay, dude, you cleared an argument. And I pointed out that he was moving goalposts. And then he once again moves goalposts. But yes, this is the kind of shit that guy's talking about. They do not have any sort of actual arguments. So what they do is goalpost move. What they do is use their beliefs, their stances as defensive mechanisms. But at no point will they actually engage in anything. It's the same. It's the same thing as when people say this is just woke DEI bullshit. They're not engaging with anything in any serious level. But like that guy said, by giving it labels, by attributing things to it that have nothing to do with it, you're able to just dismiss it. Because if I just say, if I may pull a favorite tactic of the right, you just call everyone you disagree with a Nazi. So now I don't have to engage what you're saying because you just said Nazi. So now I can just completely ignore everything. Even if you give examples of how our current American government is doing fascist shit, they'll be like, oh, so you just think they're Nazis because you don't like them? And there you go. That's the disengagement right there. That was the magic words they were looking at. IGN is a bad example. Most people tend to ignore IGN, especially when they have a bias with Xbox. It is what it is. No, you're incorrect in this assessment. I have gotten explicit examples specifically from IGN. I saw a video from Moist Critical and someone else talking about the IGN review of what's it called? Of Mouse PI. People don't ignore IGN. And I don't really understand this bias towards IGN having bias to Xbox, but like people don't ignore IGN. It's a useful tool for them to spot bullshit. But insofar as this ideology, right? What they do is what they always do is they corrupt things. Whatever exists, they seek to corrupt it. Woke meant being aware of social injustices, especially specifically for Black people, because Black people came up with that because Black Americans needed to be aware of places where they could go and be relatively safe, right? Stay woke. Don't let you get caught sleeping or caught slacking. Be aware. That got taken from us, corrupted into becoming just anything. That it was the new DEI, which was the new thug, which was the new CRT, which was the new et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what happens to these ideologies. It gets corrupted. So now you have people being like, oh, that's not stoic. You're crying. You're not manly. You're not masculine. And then all you see them do is cry about shit. The opposite of stoicism. You see them being overly emotional about not being able to see a character's underwear because the beta changed the style from beta to final release. It's, oh man, they added Black characters with NPC. Oh man, now there's women in this game. Now there's queers in this game. There's a trans person in this game. You can do creative player and they don't give you male, female body types. They say body types A or B. Like it is literally exactly what he's talking about and what I've been talking about. Pretty sure I have seen the same people bash IGN that use IGN. Yes, they do. All the time. That's why I keep saying, what's the fucking point? If you're going to keep talking about IGN and how bad they are, stop using them. I talk about how bad, what's it called? Like the Park Place is. Do you guys see me repeatedly utilizing the that Park Place? No, because they suck. And speaking of people who suck, don't you love that transition? I know you do. I know you love it. We're going to get to one of my second to last bookmarks, which is, I don't know who this person is, but they're all of my timeline. So I'm just like, I just read it. But Instagram influencer Pikachu states she is waiting for the court system to handle things, as she's stating that the Think Before You Speak video on TechTown was planned and manipulated. It was. This case caused me to think that she's just used a protective order to go back to the judge to state that TechTown is violating his protective order. There have been multiple instances that commentary has witnessed on Tectone streams within his statements that would suggest a violation, to which commentary critics point out. Which is fucking true, by the way. And then she just mentions it here. And this is a picture of Tectone for some reason. Which, okay, if I may. Girl, like, where were your standards? How does he even get to be in the same room as you? Like, I'm on Team Pikachu in this whole situation, but like, I still to this day I'm just like, what happened? How did this even? What happened there? Like, the standards could have not been there. Like, I'm just sorry. Like, maybe it was like a clout thing. Like, you can use him to get bigger, but I would be like, okay, if you were like, hey, this man has access to things I need. Okay, I understand. I understand survival, but otherwise, it's like, baby, no, baby, no, not him, not him. She was broken. He offered help. See, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then, yeah, you shook his current fiance, Sophia. I've seen her before. I'm gonna be straight up, dog. And I don't care if this makes you sound like a misogynist or whatever. If you are a woman and you are actively with Tectown, I think you're a dumbass. Like, at this point, he has court documentation, let alone the fact that his previous wife, Freem, had statements about him. Give us a content warning before we're showing. My bad. But like, not only did his previous partner, prior to Pikachu, Freem, have statements about him, and then you saw that Pikachu was instructed by Tectone to basically shit on Pink, or to shit on Freem. Now you have court documents saying that this motherfucker is a sexual abuser and is such a danger that he cannot own guns for 10 years and he cannot talk about Pikachu or come within like X amount of feet of her for 10 years. Restraining order. Right? And then you're next up. You're next up. You just think that every woman that's been with him has what was crazy, and you're gonna be the one that's different. You're gonna be the one who helps and saves him. Like, the court documents show that he sexually abused Pikachu. No ifs, ands. We covered that in my Think Before You Sleep video. You guys can watch it if you want later on, but there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And to be like, I'm going to actively be with this person whom we all know is a lying grifter is insane to me. There is no redeemable quality. This is a thing I saw, which I thought was like just really indicative. Where he's like, oh, he doesn't defend his friend Emeru. My thing is, I don't even know if they're friends or not. Why are you talking to Myron Gaines? Like, why are you talking to Myron Gaines? What could this conversation possibly, like, what could this possibly bring out? I talked to the man banned on every platform. You know what? I'm on this platform. I can go to YouTube. Let's just see. Trump thinks he's Jesus now. Okay. My girl's Atarashi Gakko. Let's look at Tectone. OnlyFans has gone bankrupt. That's not true. I love the fact though that he's still trying to keep up this like rugged, strong male thing by like doing videos where I'm in nature. Hassan has never been delusional. Interview realizes in real time Hassan is a monster. Pragmata has destroyed modern feminism. Like, this is the shit I'm talking about. Who was Myron? Oh, you are so lucky. You are so lucky you do not know who he is. I am not sure if I want to change that about your life, But if you want to know who he is, just ask me again, and I will tell you who Myron Gaines is. But if you value what little sanity you have after watching my stream, you will not ask. You will not make me do this to you. DoorDash girl finally facing prison. Her life is over. And this is a video from fucking legal mindset. Like, it's so fucking insane to me. I talked to Myron Gaines. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about this? His video talking to Myron Gaines for over 2 hours has just as many views as him watching people talk about Sykuna for under 10 minutes. Like the Vietnam government is after Hassan Piker. Like, didn't he say you Myron these gains, bro? Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna fucking fire you. But like, you look at this guy's output. And do you remember when he was talking about how when he was on, I showed you guys the clip on the Side Scrollers podcast on how he doesn't like want to do this, but he has to do this because like the left's gone too far. And then you look at videos and it's like DoorDash girl is finally facing prison. Who's the DoorDash girl?
There was a DoorDash girl that went and delivered a
You're talking about the one where the dude was like dick out when he fell asleep?
order to someone's home. They were supposed to leave their order on the front of their doorstep. They decided to open their door and record the half-naked individual in their own home and then press sexual assault charge.
I have no idea who Myron Gaines is. He worse than Asmongold and Grums. Worse than Grums, about equal to Asmongold in a different space. God, this session he has with Hassan is so insane to me. What's this update? Now I'm curious. What's this update that has you walking?
Hey, what's going on, boys? It looks a little bit different where I'm at, huh? I'm actually, I'm at a B&B with 10 of my homies who don't really know I'm a YouTuber. I'm trying to be John for a while.
Buddy, your homies don't know your job? Remember we were talking about how men aren't real friends? Your buddies don't know your job? You're trying to be John? You're trying to be John Roberts? Are you sure you want to be that guy? Because I'm pretty sure John Roberts. I'm pretty sure John Roberts has John Robertson has a court case, right? John Robertson. Not John Robert Robertson. Jesus Christ. Also in Texas. I'll just keep it Texan. That's easier. Like, dog, they got you. Like, they got you. Texas granted a 10-year protective order. Dog, like, they got you. They got you, big dog.
Court finds that probable cause exists to believe the respondent committed an offence under section 42.072 Penal Code stalking, and the nature of the scheme or course of conduct engaged in by respondent in committing the offence indicates that respondent is likely.
Why are you answering the door in the nude? He wasn't answering the door in the nude. The door was opened. Tectone lied and said she entered. The door was open, and his dick was out. And the whole thing why she pressed sexual charges is he ordered food and then just happened to fall asleep naked. Come on, dude. Yeah, he was asleep. Here's the thing. If you're going to order food and then you pass out on the couch with your door open and your dick out, like, that's not normal. But let's see this update. I'm curious now.
Hey, what's going on, boys? with 10 of my homies who don't really know I'm a YouTuber. I'm trying to be John for a while. I was teched on for many years, but now my stupid ass has to sneak off into a forest and I'm pretending that I'm taking a personal call, but in reality I'm making a YouTube video because I miss my audience, I miss my community. I was going live for 18 days straight, 5 videos a day for 18 days straight. That shit was crazy. We've been on a generational run. All my numbers are up. I can't fucking believe it.
Oh my god, never mind. I'm not curious anymore. It's just a fucking. It's just a fucking. He said he took time off. It's been fucking 20 hours. It's a day. There is no. This isn't like. When did he take his break? 18 days. I don't see it. 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 6 days ago. The longest break he took was 2 days ago. The longest break he took was 2 days ago. There was no break. There was no break. There was no break. This is 2 days ago. His Rumble account was 2 days ago. And then his own account, he's been uploading every single day. When did he say he takes some time off? Uploading every single day. To be fair, his fans aren't smart to look into it. Sounds like an Asmongold break. I mean, clearly, these people's definition of a break is I wasn't posting nonstop. I wasn't posting every single day. Which again, this is why, like, honestly, I've always been. I'm gonna stop doing this part. This is why I've always been sort of like hesitant. Not even hesitant, just unwilling to just completely be like a daily uploading channel like that, because it's nothing of substance. Like, you have to. It's like trying to catch flashes in the pans every single day. No lie, I thought Luke Stevens and Legendary Drops were the same guy, just different channels like other grifters. They have a very similar thumbnail titling style, but no, they're different people. Like, I would say Luke Stevens isn't even as bad as Legendary Drop. I still put Luke Stevens kind of in that like camp, just because he does do a better job hiding it, but when it comes out, it's like it's so obvious. Like the whole shit with the Crimson Desert thing, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay. And he's I guess a reformed, maybe plagiarist. It's a form that only works if you can sprout outrage after 5 minutes of exactly. And I do think that the whole reaction sphere is in a weird place because of all of the grifting happening, where reaction content is, I mean, if we be real, like, yeah, it's lazy. It is lazy. Reaction content is a little bit lazy, right? Because you're reacting on to stuff. But I at least think if you are able to add insight to it, it's worth doing. And I like it. I like breaking down videos, whether I disagree with it or agree with it. Most of the time I disagree because that's where the actual friction comes in. That's where the information comes out. But I think it's really interesting. But I also like to post my own stuff. So if someone wants to react to that, they're more than welcome to. I at least I feel like I'm doing my part, since I'm reacting to things, that also putting up my own content to like feed so people can react to me too. So it's not just like me eating off the backs of other people. Daily uploads is practically a death sentence for a channel unless you find a way to appeal to the new forms of viewers after the old gets bored of your shtick. Yeah, no, that's why I won't do that. Like I'm also not under any sort of pressure to put content out like that because this isn't like my livelihood. I post shit when I'm interested in it or I have something to say. That's why if you guys look at my channel, there's some times I don't post for a fucking week because I got nothing. But like when I have something to talk about, I'll talk about it. I just think it's weird that these channels exist and they have to slam you every single day to remind you constantly that they exist. Also, everyone's talking about Xbox's new direction. And I think it's so funny because they were all about Oscar Swarmer being a piece of shit and sucking and all this negative stuff. And now it's I'm loving the new direction. I'm loving this shit. It's pretty pathetic how all these channels are trying to farm off games. I mean, I'm farming off games, but I get what you mean. Like it's oh my god, here we go. But no, yeah, I get it. Like it's the way to try to farm up game drama. But look, Xbox's new strategy sounds familiar. Xbox is doomed. Like it's like he doesn't fucking like video games. He doesn't. I'm gonna say that Smash AT does not like video games, bro. He does not like video games. Everything he says about games is fucking negative. Even when they're doing shit that they want them to do. There's no more Xbox Game Pass is being cheaper, but there's no more Call of Duty day and date. Even if they're like trying to walk back that we aren't Xbox, there's like these people are never satisfied. They're always, 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 always upset about something. Especially if it's a woman. Like there's normal people. There's normal people, and then there's the fucking grifters who are like, "Oh my god, she's fucking terrible." Xbox Game Pass drops in price. I love that. That's good. Oh, okay. Legendary Drops sent me this woman's video, the Laura Fryer, and apparently she's like was like a former Microsoft person, and then just became this like insane right wing ass person. These thumbnails are crazily bad, and yet she's getting. These are some shitty thumbnails. Like talking about Redfall 2 years ago. What is your content like?
Dialogue that seemed to have come from a direct-to-DVD sci-fi channel movie. I entered the world and immediately was met with awful...
Okay. I mean, she started 2 years ago. I mean, she's hitting it big. Why fair games could be Sony's next marathon. How growth shapes team culture. The real mistake was starting it. From Midnight Magic to grave dancing, what happened to gamers and developers? What the fuck?
Launches and it becomes the hill to die on. You have rabid fans attacking
her audio got better.
Anyone with even mild criticism, and haters grave dancing on the game before it's even been out for one day. Bungie already had to rush out patches for microtransaction complaints and audio changes, yet the negativity keeps rolling. It feels like some people are treating the whole thing like a spectator sport. So what happened? Why do game developers and gamers feel like enemies? Why don't we feel like teammates anymore? What happened to the camaraderie that we had in the past? Well,
what happened?
For starters, the industry used to be much smaller. When I started playing games, I was the weird one. When I started making them, everyone thought I was crazy. The teams were small, there were 10 to 100 people.
Wait, why does she sound like wistful for that time?
And they were passion projects. The game developers were gamers because many of them started by modding in their garages. They were the audience, so there was no disconnect. They didn't need a big playtest group because they could tell if what they were making was fun. And they
that's bullshit. Never mind. I thought you were okay. This I can see why Crime's seen this video. That's bullshit. That's a load of bullshit. They didn't need playtest because they could just tell. Like this is I'm not gonna watch it because this is late. It's late. I should say it for tomorrow. I'll say it for tomorrow. But this is the shit I hate. These people like deify and mythologize older game developers. Like, no, you guys get it. Back in the day, game developers could just open a computer and the game would just pop out. They were that talented in coding. They didn't need QA testing. They knew the audience. That's why every game that came out was a raging success. There was no failures. Everything was a banger. There was camaraderie and across gaming as a whole. That's why there was never any gamers mad at any company during that time ever. They were absolutely on the same side no matter what. And it isn't as if, gamers also became insane. Like, did the industry grow? Of course. Industry is growing is good. But I can guarantee you her train of thought is now the game developers are no longer gamers. They're fucking activists or they're whatever. But it just seems like another person trying to talk about the halcyon days and then rewriting history. Like she's like, I think it's like these games were passion projects. Not every fucking game that came with a passion project. And I think the term passion project is misused way too much. Like, and I can tell she's one of those people who's going to be like, and the real issue is they were putting the message over gaming, over fun. Games are much different now. Which exactly. I'm saying these people are like, how come back when I started doing this hobby, when I started doing this thing, it was better, but now that other people are doing this thing, it's worse. Basketball is worse. Gaming is worse. Teenagers now are worse. Kids now are more annoying. When I was a kid, we weren't near as annoying. Yes, you fucking were. Yes, you fucking were. But we will have these conversations tomorrow when we have my longer stream. Tomorrow, if you guys are new here, Saturday is really like the real stream. These are just little like in betweens. Saturday is when I actually have like more of a plan and more time. Like I don't normally start at 9 o'clock, by the way. I start normally around like 7 o'clock. So that's me giving you guys a heads up that the stream's over. Come back on Saturday. Come back on Saturday, and that's when you're gonna see the real me. That's when you're gonna get the real yapparoony, the 6-hour long yap. This is a half stream. Yes, Saturday's the ultimate yapping time. It is. Back in my day, streamers used to at least say goodnight before they just signed off. But now streamers nowadays just put on a big old stream sound and a screen that says stream is ending, and then they play music like they're some sort of disc jockey, and then they let bits go on far too long, and then they just suddenly cut out.